Oh, no transition effect. I apparently turned off the transition effects. Yay me. Um, so this is normally the Star Trek Europa game. However, we are taking a slight break from that game, and we are done with season one and waiting for season two to finish being written by whoever's going to write it. I have no idea who that's going to be. Um, So, in the meantime, we're going to take a short break and play a little Call of Cthulhu. This is the first time I have run this adventure. This is the first time I have streamed Call of Cthulhu. And this is the first time that I think Jack and Brian have even played Call of Cthulhu. And it's like the fourth time I've run it. So, we're here's hoping that we don't mess it all up. Um, I'm your host, Jeff, and you can find me at all the places at Studio Tembo. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody else. Brian, go ahead.
My name is Brian. I'm playing Busy Walker Jordan,
Hey,
intrepid reporter.
yes, a journalist.
Yeah.
Ev, go ahead.
I'm Evelyn, and I will be playing Asia Marie Livingston, a radio star and bon vivant.
I like that word, bon vivant.
You know,
Um, the setup is a little different today, too, so hopefully the sound comes out good. I hope everyone enjoys it. All right, Jack, go ahead. You're up.
Yes, hello, I'm Jack. I will be playing Dr. Algernon Souls today, and an archaeologist and bane to all of his students. He's a horrible professor. But I also do my own thing. I know I'm going to take a little bit more time. I also do my own thing. I have my own channel over at twitch.tv/The People's Ascension. I just started off a brand new series called RPGs Uncovered, in which I aim to show just how quick and easy it is to learn a brand new TTRPG, from just cracking open the book to playing in or even running your first game. We just had our first episode of our first season this last Saturday. It is up on Twitch VODs and it is up on YouTube if you want to check that out, where we are diving into the science fantasy TTRPG Veil of the Void Reforged. It is a fantastic system. We have the creator of the system on the show with us. We had some great creator commentary, and I think we pulled off showing, how easy it is to get into the game. We streamed for about 3 hours on the rules with commentary and tangent, and that really gets everything in there that you need to know. So if you're interested in some sci-fi or some science fantasy to go with this Eldritch horror, go check that out. And in no time you could be running your own game too. As for now, I'm excited for whatever this is all going to be.
Yeah, hopefully. That's the first time I think you've actually switched from doing fantasy over to doing sci-fi in the
Yeah, I know.
intro.
Yeah, and usually the other way around.
Right.
yeah.
All right, so this is Shadows over Providence. It was originally written to celebrate the Necronomicon in Providence, Rhode Island, 2019, which is a convention held in the former Biltmore Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island, obviously. The Milton Hotel, which is the hotel we're going to be dealing with in the game, is based on the Biltmore Hotel. Um, it's a big, fancy, place with a name like Biltmore. It's going to be. The scenario is set in the summer of 1928, 6 years after the construction of the hotel was completed. Yeah, this is available on all the places that you buy adventures and stuff. So it is a pre-made adventure, which is a departure for us because I don't normally run pre-made adventures, especially not streamed. And I feel like that's going to make things way, way worse. So, all right. Hang on one second. You have to forgive me. I have a terrible cough today. So, without further ado, the Milton Hotel cordially invites you to view the fantastical traveling exhibit, The Kingdom of Fire, Egypt's 18th Dynasty. All the way from the British Museum of London, England, come and see the wonders of ancient Egypt, rare and priceless items from a time long ago. Learn about their history from Dr. Caitlin Bronson, the exhibition's curator, who will be on hand to answer all of your questions. Marvel at the treasures of Tutankhamun and Hatshepsut. Oh, God. Normally I can say that just fine.
I feel like he just cursed you for butchering his name.
I know. Anyways, I can't pronounce it right now. Normally I can. Along with the star of the exhibition, the mysterious Canopic Jar of Ibnhotep the Mad. Tickets are limited and going fast. Yes, stolen cultural artifacts. Absolutely. It's 1928. And you don't miss out on what promises to be the most talked about exhibition of the year. So the group of you, the players, are all at the hotel. We begin with just after dinner on Saturday evening, August 25th. You were exiting the elevator on the 17th floor to browse the exposition. Let me see if I can get you a picture of the hotel. I know there is one. Map of the Providence Hotel. Yes, here we go. And then I will share this with you guys. And then make sure that I set this right. Zoom to fit. There we go. So there's your hotel. The 17th floor is the ballroom. That's where the event is being held at the moment. Put this there wherever you can see it. There's a manned podium stationed near the elevator that collects your tickets. The exhibition has been set up so that people can guide themselves through at your own pace. Dr. Bronson is a short, gray-haired woman in a matching linen skirt and jacket. She's standing next to the Ibnhotep Canopic Jar, and she can provide further details on various pieces of history and lore that you may ask. There are 3 security guards, employees of the British Museum of London, who are on duty. The Imhotep Canopic Jar isn't the only thing on display. There's also an amulet and Tutankhamun's crook and flail, flint knives and things like that. Beaded necklaces, urns, a sakura bird, the Senate game, board game with pieces, some funerary figurines, and an amulet. You guys are welcome to mingle about. The room is pretty full of people. There are a number of individuals you can interact with. For your edification, here is the Canopic Jar. Anything you guys have any particular interest in viewing at the moment? Anyone you want to talk to? How you want to do?
You said that the person was a doctor, right?
Correct. Yep, Dr. Bronson.
I would like to interview them for the paper.
Okay.
I'm here to report on this event, and would like to ask them some questions.
Absolutely. Let's see if I can find Dr. Bronson here. Dr. Caitlin Bronson. Of course, they don't give me an NBC for her. But anyways, I don't have an image for her, but we could certainly do an interview. She's standing next to the jar, answering a few questions when you approach.
Good evening, Dr. Bronson. I'm here with the Times Tribune. I'm here to interview you for a possible story that might run on the paper.
Of course. Absolutely. Ask your questions. Ask away.
Pafo, would love to ask you some questions. First, where did these items come from?
Most of these items are found in the Valley of the Kings. Tutankhamun's crook and flail, of course, they came from the tomb of Tutankhamun. Dr. Carter found those earlier this year. The urn and the canopic jar and the scarab amulet, which she points to, these were found in what we believe to be the tomb of Ibnhotep, a master architect of the era.
Rumor has it that these items are cursed and that a very curse befalls this hotel. Do you lend any credence to these superstitions?
There are always such types of nonsense bandied about. There has been no evidence of any kind of supernatural occurrences around any of these items, or really any find from the Valley of the Kings.
So no ill fortune, no stubbed toes or anything like that. Please give me something. We've got to make the story interesting.
I'm sorry to disappoint your readers, sir, but there's unfortunately been very little to no incidents of such. It is simple, fanciful tales made up by papers such as yours.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, if you have any further questions, I'm happy to answer them.
That's it for what I wanted to do for now.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to do? I'm putting the items up on screen now that you guys can
See this.
see the various things that you might want to see and ask any questions if you have them. I'm sure there's a German in here somewhere.
So actually, as Busy walks away from this tour guide or whoever, Dr.
Museum
Souls
curator?
is tour guide. Is Dr. Souls is going to walk up. Young lady, I heard you were talking with this rather amateur collector here, and I must assure you she is quite mistaken. There is plenty of research out there if you know exactly where to dig.
Oh, yeah? What do you got for me?
Well, I've published plenty of papers that are quite difficult to find. They make them as such, you see. It would cause mass hysteria, I'm sure, if, well, the average folk like the people here were to get wind of too much of what was underneath the dirt.
Mass hysteria, you say? Please go on.
So I'm just going to go off in a rant about all kinds of things that I've dug up, personal experiences that I've had. I've written a paper, which is extremely difficult to find because it hasn't been published by any like actual reputable source,
Right.
or university. But it's all about an artifact that I found in ancient Crete. And when I dug it up, in the report, it talks about how it provided visions of a far-off ancient realm with various celestial creatures that whispered secrets of the cosmos.
Izzy will dutifully write this all down, hoping to make a good story out of it.
Excellent. Anyone else who wants to finish looking around at the artifacts, you're welcome to. That includes you, Evelyn. You can spend time studying the items. They all of the exhibition pieces are accompanied by small information cards. And if you spend any time working, like reading them and going through them, there's a roll you can make, but it's not necessary. Yeah. Other than that, there are a number of. Well, actually, you know what? Everybody give me a hard spot hidden check. I'll set the difficulty over here. And then what you guys have to do is on your character sheets, just double click where it says spot hidden.
Look at that. We're off to a good start.
Yeah, that's the best roll you've ever gotten in this game.
Fuck, right? Hey, no, I rolled a 1 on my first roll last night to whatever minor thing I didn't need to super succeed at.
Right.
And then I miserably failed at everything else.
All right, so Asia succeeds with a 7. Busy fails. And here's where luck comes in. Everybody has a skill called luck on their sheet. I don't know if I rolled it for everybody. I know I rolled it for 2 of the players. I didn't do it for Asia, it looks like.
Where is luck supposed to be on here?
On the front page, it'll say current. It'll look like 0 right now for you.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
To fix that, roll 3d6 and times it by 5. That's your current total for luck. What luck does is for certain kinds of rolls, mostly skill
Did I not
rolls.
do it already in the character?
If you did, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
So,
I did. Her
okay.
luck is 70.
Okay. Here, I'll change it for you.
Okay.
There you go. So the way luck works is if you make a roll and you fail the roll, you can spend a number of luck points it's a 1-to-1 exchange to change the die roll that you've had. It does not apply to things like damage or insanity checks or stuff like that. But for normal skill checks like this, if you want to succeed in the roll, you
Ignore
can
that.
spend it. And it tells you right there how many you'd have to spend. So for Busy, you have to spend 9 in order to succeed. And for the Dr. Souls, you would have to spend 17 of your 55. You do not have to spend them. It's simply an option that you guys have at your disposal. Luck points do not regenerate during this storyline.
Why did it roll? So I didn't mean to actually roll that, but why did that roll like that?
Did you double click on luck? So there's a luck roll.
Yeah.
Um,
The luck roll is
it basically
2d100 because
I'm pretty sure what it does is it replaces your tens place die. But I'm not 100% sure how luck rolls work. We've never used them.
Yeah. It replaces the tens place.
Yeah. Yeah, we've never
weird.
To this point in any of the games we've played, I've never done a luck roll, so I'm not 100% sure how that works. It's something I gotta.
But I think well, there's a difference between a luck roll and adding a bonus dice, and that's specifically adding a bonus dice. If you roll luck, you just have to roll under your luck, and if you roll under your luck, you're lucky enough for whatever to happen.
Yeah,
right. Like but it rolled instead of rolling a tens and a ones, it rolled 2 10s. So that should have been a.
Oh, yeah, no, that's weird.
No, it rolled
either a 30.
It rolled a D100 and a D10, so it rolled a 30 and a 10. So it did whatever the math it did was the math it did. I don't know.
Yeah, but that shows how it rolled for all of the. Like if you look at any the other 3 rolls right above that, it says D100 plus D10, but it rolled a D10 and it rolled a tens place and a ones place. This rolled 2 tens places.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it does that. Like,
no, it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it's very confusing. I don't know. It does its own thing. The way the app works does its own thing.
I believe it's because if you roll a 0-0, it's 100, right? Because it's between 1 and 100. Right. So if you roll a 10 on the D100 and a 10 on the D10,
that's 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The math is right on the system. We'll use the system if it doesn't. Yeah. So
okay.
What it's doing right there, I don't even want to know. It's Fantasy Grounds does Fantasy Grounds. So
Fantasy Grounds and Eldritch Gods. Nothing can go wrong.
No, that's exactly it.
I think Jack's right. You assume it's a 0. There's no way to get 100.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So. We got one person that succeeded in the spot check, unless you guys want to spend your luck, which it's a little early in the adventure to spend your luck points.
Yep, no, I do not.
Okay.
Nope.
I need one
so Asia was actually about to interject in the conversation.
Yeah, that's fine.
So she starts to lean back around somebody else and was like leans back so she can catch line of sight around some other attendee and starts to say something, and then her eye catches whatever she's about to spot and goes,
oh. So what you see are 3 very well-dressed individuals who are not who clearly don't really fit in properly to the decor here. They are well-fitting pinstripe suits. They have slight bulges under their coats, under their arms. They're definitely some shady type characters. Mafioso types.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing anything at the moment, just you notice that they're there.
Okay.
I would love to spot Asia.
No problem. She's easy to see. She's glitzy and glamorous.
Yep. And legit, just almost kind of cartoon. So if you two are standing here, you two are standing here, and there's a person standing here. Don't mind my 85,000 pens. She was on this side of that person and leaned back to interject into your conversation. So you just saw this tiny blonde thing lean back, very kind of obviously, and then squirrel. And so she's gonna clock those and then continue leaning or resume leaning back to interject.
Well, if it isn't Asia Marie Livingston, darling of the society papers.
In the flesh.
What news do you have for this season? Who have you kissed? Who have you slapped?
Well, now, busy dear, you know a lady never kisses and tells.
Wow.
And as for who I've slapped, if you haven't heard about it, they ain't worth mentioning.
Tell you what, you just mentioned some names. I'll tell them for you.
My dear, you know I'm no gossip. Speaking of gossip, though, I couldn't help but overhearing your conversation with the good doctor over here. And I must say, word of warning, you don't want to speak too loudly about them that lurk in the darkness. It's best they stay.
That's exactly what I was telling her here. It's a scoop of a lifetime you may get, but that lifetime might be cut short.
Indeed.
I'd be real careful about where you publish these things.
Don't speak their names too loudly.
Fiddle faddle. The sunlight is the best disinfectant of them all. All it takes is a little bit of know-how, a little bit of spreading. Scott, you'll see that shape in the corner is just a coat rack.
Real hard to find sunlight when the creatures make their own darkness.
Well, that's what the papers are for.
That's your luck you're gambling with. I've always liked you. I wouldn't want to see you disappear.
Well, I appreciate the concern, but don't worry. Busy Jordan Walker makes her own mark.
How's that beau of yours? Treating you right still? I'm telling you, my cousin is single, and he's real pretty.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but a girl doesn't want to get tied down with consequence, if you will.
Understandable.
I'm gonna wander off and just actually real hard on some tour person.
What do you, Professor? What do you think of these objects? You never mentioned them specifically.
Oh, all of these here. I focus mostly in ancient Greek relics, though there is quite some crossover that you can get. These ones in particular, it's a rather amateurish collection, but these public galas and whatnot, they can't display the more rare artifacts.
You're saying
I bet you got them. I bet they got them tucked in the way in the back.
You're saying they might have goodies hidden away in them.
Oh, a place like here? Certainly not.
Tell you what, Professor, if you could,
universities and private collections are where.
Well, I'm sure they won't mind a gal having a look. If you two wouldn't mind, I'm going to duck behind the curtain, see what I can dig up. Just cover for me, will you?
Cover for you? I thought I was going to go with you.
Well, if you need any credentials to get yourself back into such a location, I am a preeminent expert in my field. They would let me walk right past.
Well, Professor, if you can do that, I'll give you a byline in my story.
We'll see how it turns out.
So it sounds like the three of us are going to try to sneak back to the good stuff.
Okay. This is a hotel that has an exhibit. It's not really going to be a lot of good stuff. There is a back room area that you can probably sneak into. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, somebody. We'll just do one. Doesn't really matter who it is. I want to say the difficulty will be hard since this is a pretty.
I'm sure there's some sort of like museum staff or something that's overlooking the exhibits.
There are 3 guards from the. There are 3 guards plus hotel staff, but the 3 guards are actually from the London Museum. So
right. Can I go up to one of them and just start talking in circles, just full archaeology at them about how I am from the Heidelberg University, and it's very important that we cross-reference some of the exhibits here.
Sure. Yeah, you can start. Give me a either persuade or fast talk.
Could I just rely on my knowledge? Could I just roll archaeology?
If you were trying to recall something, I would say yes, but since you're trying to actually distract them in some way, it would be. I mean, fast talk would be the ideal role. I would also go with like psychology could work.
Okay. So archaeology is just like a recollection. I can remember things about archaeology.
It'll definitely come up later in the story for sure. But if you wanted to learn more about like the Canopic Jars or the Senate game or that kind of stuff, that's what archaeology would be primarily for.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm going to find ways to use it because I have 85 points.
Yeah, no, I see that. It's ridiculous.
Okay, so you said fast talk or charm. I'm not.
I would take charm also. Yeah, that would be good. I'd say fast talk, charm,
or psychology.
Psychology. Let's see. Persuade would be okay.
Persuade. Where's persuade? Persuade is the best I got. I'll go with persuade. I'm a professor. I don't usually have to persuade people to listen. They sort of have to. They're stuck in a room with me.
Right. Jeffrey, how do you edit the skills on here? Because I did not. I forgot before I sent this to you. I didn't add the percentages in.
It's all added in.
No, it's not.
It's so it
unless it adds it in when I roll.
It should all be there the way it's so. You're talking about your base percentages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should all be in there now for the system. Looking at the way the points and stuff worked out, it should be because you guys are all made the same way. Yeah, I don't. It's. We have to redo. Basically, we have to relook at the way the sheets are working, the way we're playing the other game. But it should all be there because like your psychology is a 1. It should be a 1 there. Like your base percentages are there, and then when I added them in, I added them in the way they're supposed to be. The way they were on the sheet. So they should be the same numbers that were on the sheets.
Right. But the numbers on the sheets did not reflect with the percentage added. That was just the points that I had spent.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I do, but I also see that you guys are all like 441 points over what the characters are supposed to be created at. So I'm not really sure. Like you're actually at what your normal points should be for character creation. So,
unless I did that very wrong, that doesn't make any sense.
The way that you would adjust it is you click the edit list button up at the top where it says points spent. And there's a little red button.
There.
Yeah.
Because it said my personal interest points were my what was it? Education ×2 plus appearance ×2, I think. It was something weird. And then the rest of the points to spend were the intelligence ×2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. The character creation for this system is a little bit weird, and I still haven't figured out.
It is weird.
I still haven't figured out how the sheets work properly.
Unnecessarily complicated.
It is. All right. Anyways, you failed on that. You're conversing with the two the 3 guards that are there, and you're definitely boring the living crap out of them.
But like most of my students,
right? One of them sees out of the corner of his eye as Busy tries to get behind the one screen and shouts out and says, "Hey, you there? You can't go back there. Don't go back there."
I would like to try to distract the guard's attention.
I mean, he's already saying something.
Okay.
Also, Busy like rolled a 99, which is
fair enough.
So a fumble. So.
Oh, what do you say? This isn't the ladies' room. My mistake.
No, ladies' room's over there, over that way.
You should really put up a sign.
Yeah. Anyways, excuse me, Professor. We got some work. We gotta not stand here listening to you talking.
I'll just narrow my eye and go bother someone else.
Okay.
Well, that certainly could have gone better.
Well, they can't all be winners.
Nope.
After a while,
Another time.
After a little while, Dr. Caitlin Bronson shakes a small bell to capture everyone's attention. She's standing next to the Ibnhotep Canopic Jar, which is accompanying and is accompanying a hieroglyphic tablet. Once everyone has quieted down and starts watching her, she gestures to the jar and announces in a cut glass British accent, which I'm only going to attempt slightly. We'll put this over there for you guys to read it if you want to. Hello and welcome. Hello and thank you all for coming. This is the Ibnhotep Canopic Jar. This fascinating piece dates back to 1325 BC. The canopic jars are normally used to preserve the pharaoh's organs as he crosses into the afterlife, but a special case was made for Imhotep. The hieroglyphic records from the period tell us that he was an advisor and astrologist for the boy king Tutankhamun. According to those records, he attempted to use black magic to murder the king. This jar's accompanying tablet, as she identifies a small tablet next to it, says that after he was defeated, Imhotep's soul was trapped within this jar in order to prevent his entry into the afterlife as a punishment for his wicked deeds. Now, I know some of you have been interested in curses and things of that nature. However, these are quite unfounded and fabrications that do not go far. This is an interesting exhibit for its outlying possibilities, the things that this indicates about the belief structure at the time of the revival of the pharaohic gods from the sun god that was brought about by Tutankhamun's father. Yes.
So Dr. Souls is actually gonna very theatrically lean over to Busy and sort of tip his hat in a very, see what I mean, sort of way.
Straight to Snoozeville.
At that moment, all of the lights go out in the room, and the entire exhibit is left in total darkness.
He just shrieks and girlishly clings to the nearest strapping gentleman.
That's not me.
Hang on one second. Here we go. This is where I wanted. The lights go out and the ballroom is plunged into darkness. There are several pops of muzzle flashes as shots are fired into the ceiling. People start screaming and running in panic, and the guards are quickly subdued. From behind you, you can hear the thuds and the cries of the guards. Due to the element of surprise, you do not actually get an action this round, although you can take non-movement actions. You can scream and fall to the ground and things like that you want to do. There are several flashes of there are several flashes of a photographer's camera flashing as during this, along with the flashes of the muzzles that are being fired. After a few seconds, you hear a glass pane shatter. Let's see. One penalty die. You may all make a POW or power roll. I think it was actually willpower. Mm-hmm. Oh, no penalty die. Hang on.
Okay. That was a success.
All right. Asia got an extreme success.
Yay!
Spend 25. Regular success, failure, and extreme success. So the doctor you do not see, but Asia, you may act this round at your, basically you can act first, basically.
Okay. Whew. I'm really not sure what to do. I am going to take cover.
Okay.
And try to assess as best I can as my eyes adjust to the darkness.
Through the various flashes and whatnot, you can see a man reaching in to grab the Canopic Jar.
Okay.
You can still take one action if you'd like.
Can I... How close am I, Dan?
Within movement distance. It's not that big of a ballroom.
Okay. Trying to decide. Oh, my brawl is a hot mess.
Your bra is a hot mess?
Brawl.
Okay.
My brawl is a hot mess.
My bra.
My bra is just fine. Not that, the internet needed to know that.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I will... Oh, that seems so extreme. Is there by chance some, like, a large display column I could knock over onto him?
I would say that the glass case with the scarab amulet is probably close enough that you could bump it hard enough that the glass might hit him.
Okay, let's try that.
Okay. Give me a dex check. Unless you have something else that you think would work.
Nope.
Oh, that's a failure.
Also, nope.
So you stand up and you bump into the glass and kind of bounce off of it.
And knock myself off. Or knock myself over. Yeah.
You don't knock yourself to the ground or anything. You just kind of hit it and makes a dull thud sound, and you kind of just stand there. Some more shots flash. Some more shots flash out. A couple more of the shots of the flashes of the camera go as well, and Busy, you can go next.
Busy is going to let out a great jumping universe, and then I think she's going to try to move towards the door.
Okay. Are you going to try to block the door, or are you trying to go out the door?
Trying to go out the door. She's not dying for the ancient Egyptian relics.
Okay. You can make your way out the door. There's nobody currently blocking it. You do see that a couple of the guards, as you get some towards where the door's light pours into the room, two of the guards are lying face down. A cursory glance doesn't appear to. There's no bleeding or anything, so they're not clearly dead or anything. You can certainly step over them and leave the room if you like.
I'm going to stand by the door in a half-hidden position and wait for them to come out of it, because I'm assuming that they're going to make a bolt for it.
Okay. The next round, more shots are fired into the ceiling, and someone bumps into. You can see through the flashes in the haze that something bumps into the guy who is reaching into the guy has pulled the canopic jar out, and he's beginning to make his way out the door. Someone bumps into him. He drops the canopic jar. As it spills, the doctor, the grunt who has it, kind of fumbles with it, and the contents end up spilling out all over Dr. Bronson. The jar then falls to the floor. And a large part of the jar breaks. One large chunk that breaks off the jar. Okay, that's what I thought. You need to make a successful dexterity check. Anyone who wants to avoid being swept towards the stairwell by the panicked crowd. You don't need to make that roll, Busy, because you are already by the door. So you have a regular success, okay. And and the good doctor also succeeds. So neither of you can either choose to go with the crowd or stay where you are. And then you may act however you want to this round. All three of you can. So the first person to go would be Asia. You're the fastest with the highest initiative. Because you don't roll initiative in this game, you just have the initiative score.
I think I am going to, this was called what, Overwatch or Lord Over or stand back cautiously and stare at shit.
Right.
Whatever the term we talked about last night that is basically holding action.
Yeah. What are you holding action specifically to do? Because that's how that's supposed to work.
Okay.
Like, what are you anticipating happening and then preventing or interceding?
I think the trouble is neither she nor I know what is going on at the moment and what to do next.
Right.
Okay. The jar is dropped and broken, so there's no saving that at this point.
Right. We can hold your action, and then if you would... Oh, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Can I get a clear line of sight on any of the gunmen?
Yeah, sure. There's a number of them. There's a lot more than the 3 you originally saw.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Nope, I am outgunned. We are not going to do that.
I mean, they're not all together. There's just a bunch of them in the room.
Yeah, but firing on one is going to end really poorly, and I don't want to die in the first round.
Yeah.
Second, third round, wherever we are here.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to duck behind a large installment of some sort and take cover.
All right. You take some cover behind one of the display cases. The gangsters all act, which doesn't matter. They're doing their thing. Busy, you are next. What would you like to do? You are standing at the doorway. A crowd is pushing their way past you towards the staircase that goes down. You have a choice to either be in the room or out of the room. It's up to you. If you're in the room, you can move around more freely in the room. If you're outside the room, you'd have to push past everyone to get back into the room if you want to do something.
So how many exits were there from the room?
There is one main exit.
Okay. And I'm standing outside of it. I'm going to stay here then.
Okay. I mean, there are windows, but it's a 17th story building, 17th floor of the building. So
sure.
Probably don't want to leap out one of those at the moment. Dr. Souls, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I passed my check, but I doubt I'm making much ground. I probably just have my cane in the air, waggling it about. Just, you mad fools! Look what you've done! We're all doomed.
All right. Let's see. More shots flash into the panicked crowd. The camera clicks a few more times, and the room is momentarily illuminated by flashes. A stray... after a few seconds, a stray bullet you can see hits the... I'll say the doctor sees that a stray bullet hits the journalist that is there, the photographer that is there, strikes him in the neck, and he goes down. The flashing stops from the camera. There's still a few bullets being fired, and in the flashes of gunfire and before the photographer goes down, you see what looks like the good doctor Bronson, covered in sand, slowly. Let's see, where's it? Do they have a description here? They do not. You see the flashing, the flashing lights on the thing, and the doctor is being almost desiccated by the sands on her. It's like as if the moisture is being drained out of her, anyone who's looking at the Canopic Jar area, which could be either the good doctor or Asia. Busy is too far out of the room, so she doesn't need to see it at the moment. And you guys can decide if you want to see it or not, but you'll have to make a sanity check if you do.
That's exciting. We'll go ahead and make that sanity check because I was about to ask if next turn I could try to use my shawl and brush the sand off of her. So I guess I'm looking at that delightful critter.
Oh, so actually you can make a power roll. On a success, you can declare whether or not you want to be looking at it, and a failure means you're looking at it. So,
well, I mean, I'm just
you're looking at
declaring I'm looking at it regardless. So I don't need to do that. Yeah. Question is, how do you make a sanity check? Because clearly, double clicking on sanity doesn't do anything. Just drag my sanity into the chat. That was helpful.
You just double click where it says current.
Oh, why is my current sanity only oh yeah, right. No. That's right.
Yeah, 99 is the maximum it can ever get to, not the maximum it starts the game at.
Yep. I realized that as soon as I said it.
Just lose 4. Let's see. 70, that's success. Everyone who rolls a success loses 1 point of sanity.
I mean, I figure I don't have to be in the room.
The
sanity is so weird and backwards, and it doesn't make any damn sense to me.
So the way sanity works in this is there are certain numbers, it's a 2/ number. So in this case, it's a 1 or 1d2. If you succeed, you lose 1 sanity. If you fail, you lose 1d2 sanity. So in this case, you lose sanity whether you succeed or fail.
Right. Okay.
The amount of sanity you lose is where the intelligence checks comes in later.
Okay.
And that's not something you guys have to do this time because that only applies if you lose 5 or more sanity in a single roll.
Right.
Which you did not in this case. You only lost 1. So
right. Okay.
Just reduce your current by 1.
Yep.
For everybody. And then that image that I just put on shared with you guys, the desiccated sandy form that is there, is what you see. You may act this round, but everyone will have a penalty die to dexterity.
So for clarification, that is the doctor, or the doctor's prone form is like the doctor is lying in the ground and that is rising up from her desiccated form.
That the doctor is inside of that and then falls out of it.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yes. That had enveloped the good doctor, taken a form that you see there, and then the doctor's shriveled husk falls to the ground.
Okay.
Outside, it falls out of the creature onto the ground. The 3 of you may act if you wish.
I just want to double check. Did I need to do a sanity roll since I was in the room?
You did not need to. You're welcome to if you want. You succeeded in it. You just lose 1 sanity. If you want to have seen in the room, you're welcome to. You can opt to do that. You just didn't have to if you didn't want to.
No, I mean, I'm happy being outside of the room because that's what I said I was doing.
Right.
I'm gonna wait until the crowd thins out, and then if I don't see the ruffians leave, I'm gonna poke my head back in.
Okay. Yeah, the ruffians have not left yet, so the room is the traffic is definitely clearing out, but the ruffian has not yet left.
Then I'll take a look inside.
And you will see that thing and make your sanity check, which you did, and lose 1 point of sanity, which you did.
All right.
Congratulations. So Asia, who has been on all fours behind whatever fixture she's behind, peeking out, and was had one hand forward. She was about to come crawling toward the doctor, sees that, goes and skitters back behind the thing and is now sitting with her back to the installment or installation, knees up, hands over her eyes, and kind of just, if I can't see it, it can't see me. If I can't see it, it can't see me.
Okay. Doctor, what would you like to be doing?
As long as I'm interested in the camera that the other reporter had. So as long as that's not too close to this big sand monster, I'm gonna try to go get that.
Okay. Give me a dex check. Because it's dark, we're gonna add a penalty die. You won't get hurt or anything. You won't be able to get it to this turn if you fail the roll.
Yeah, that's fair. Do I need to do anything to add that penalty die?
I added it already. It adds on
Okay.
my side. So
Gotcha. So I just rolled dex.
Yep.
This 63-year-old man is being surprisingly dexterous tonight.
I see that. Oh, you know. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, you make your way over to the camera and scoop it up from the lifeless, bloodied reporter. There is some blood on the camera strap and whatnot when you pick it up. What were you gonna say, Brian?
Oh, I just said he wants it. That's why he's rolling so well.
Yeah.
Because he wants it so bad.
It's really because the rolls were so bad for my game, for the Call of Cthulhu game we played last night.
Oh my god,
someone had to.
Awful.
The dice
So
have changed
bad.
in your favor today. That's good. So, Bissy, what do you want to do? Pardon
I'm
me.
gonna say, Jesus January. What's going on? What is that thing? She's gonna say out loud to everybody else.
Okay. Most of the people that were most of the regular spectators in the room have left, or are pushing their way down the hallway. And one of them just turns back and says, "Run!" The next turn, round 5, the sand creature thing that you're seeing turns into a large swoop of dust and rushes itself into the air vents as if riding a strong air current.
Busy will reply to the person and miss the story of a lifetime. Hardly. And she's gonna go. She's gonna go back and go into the room, look up at the fence, and try and figure out maybe where it went.
Okay. On your way, before you head into the room, you notice a bunch of the gangsters that were in there are now trying to also leave the room. So you have a chance to stop them if you'd like.
No, there's more interesting things than gangsters now.
Okay. So you step into
Does
the
it
room.
look like they have any other artifacts?
It doesn't appear to be at the moment. With the light still off, it's hard to tell for sure.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just snapping pictures.
This is what the dust cloud looks like for those of you who want to know. Pretty obvious what a dust cloud looks like. But that's it.
Professor, I'll give you $5 for those photos. Nope, make that $10.
After a few minutes, the lights do come back on.
You okay, Miss Livingston?
She gets herself back up and is kind of brushing herself back off and tightens her shawl around her shoulders. Little worse for wear, but I suppose as right as I'll ever be. Haven't seen that.
I'll say
I've
that
seen a
was,
lot of things up in the woods, but nothing like that.
well, I'll say the person who hasn't seen their first dust monster is a person who hasn't lived. What happened to the good doctor here? And she'll point over at the cusp.
Exactly what I warned you would happen.
To be fair,
It does look very much like. Well, if I had to take a guess, the soul of the evil Egyptian magician got released and took her essence and made its way that way.
I've seen a lot of salacious stories out there, but that one takes the cake.
Well, do you have a more rational explanation?
I'll get back to you on that. Let's find out. Where could it have gone? It went into the vents. It must have gotten into the ventilation.
before you get to that, before you get too far ahead of the thing, the power is restored to the hotel, and you can hear the sirens from the police cars heading in. You're right down the hall right down the road from City Hall and the police station, so it's a pretty quick response. The hotel staff are doing their best to calm everything down, and there's a couple of them in the room. There are three people in the room still, other than yourselves and the two bodies.
So the guards are still in the room. They stayed in the room.
They're unconscious, but yeah, they're in the room. I forgot they're still there too.
Oh, okay. They're unconscious.
They're unconscious. Yeah.
So who else is in the room? Anybody of importance?
There are three people who you guys have not yet met in the room. Let's see.
Do any of them work for the hotel?
They don't have pictures of them, which kind of sucks. No, they do not work for the hotel, I don't believe. One of them is a museum curator, 44-year-old male. One of them is one of the guests you saw, 36-year-old, roughly. And the other one is a young lady, 27 or so, well-dressed.
Do they look distracted by all the nonsense that just happened?
Yes. Although, give me a psychology test check. Anybody that wants to can do that, because there isn't really anything better than that for this particular role. A hard success. Nice. Holy crap, Doc. That was a good roll. Holy crap, Age. That was also a good roll. A 10% chance and you both succeed. The young lady appears to be trying harder than she needs to be. She's putting in more effort than you would expect to what's the word I'm trying to say? To look nonchalant. Not nonchalant, but to look as if she is not. Okay, hang on. Let me try to rephrase this. She is trying very hard to look as flustered as everyone else is.
Okay.
Can I see can I see the scarab amulet?
Yes, the amulet is still there.
I would like to take that.
I will sidle up to her.
I'll go with you.
Here she is. This is her.
Not your first rodeo there, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if I may offer some acting lessons, being the great age living in, of course, you might want to widen your eyes a little bit and tremble your lower lip some. It really sells the fear.
I have no idea what you're talking about. She,
Of course you don't, my dear.
She kind of gets an indignant look and let's see. I'm not gonna make you guys roll. I'm not gonna make her roll either. That would be stupid. But yeah, she gives you kind of a half-knowing smile, and yet does the best she can to feign ignorance. You were also going over there, Doctor? Oh no, Doctor, you were going to get the.
Yeah, the busy was calling me. Well, my dear, if you would like to what is the word? It's terrible. I can't think of the word I want.
Doctor, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Since everyone was distracted, I'm going to go ahead and give you a bonus die.
What roll did you say? Stealth?
Stealth, yep. To take the thing without being seen by someone.
Gotcha. My luck had to run out eventually.
52. All right. You definitely do grab the amulet and pocket it. If either Asia, you're busy talking. Busy, if you want to see if you saw him take it, you can give me a spot hidden. But if you don't want to, that's also fine. It's up to you.
I'm okay either way.
Go ahead and give me the roll, and let's see. See if you were one of the ones that noticed him taking the thing.
Okay.
Oh God! All right, you're busy talking to to Cecilia. You're getting the rolls everybody else was getting yesterday. That's
we acknowledge the dice. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So yeah, you do not notice the good doctor taking the thing.
All right.
Decompress. That was what I wanted.
This is the other gentleman that is in the room. And then there's one more that I'm trying to find. Give me a second.
Okay.
Anyways, anything else you guys would like to do while you were...
I'll tell the woman, if you're looking to decompress, I find after stressful situations like this, a good cup of tea and a warm slice of pie is very helpful. There's a delightful diner just around the corner.
Yes. I don't think we're going to be able to leave.
Well.
And that's the third gentleman who's in the room currently. About that time, you can hear that of the cops coming up the stairs in their big blue uniforms with their big blue hats and
they all speak with an Irish accent.
All speaking with an Irish accent.
Well, you saw a sand monster? Sure you did.
What was the one from Family Guy? Oh, look at a little baby. Aren't you cute? Where's your mommy? Used to do that one a lot for another game. All right. The police investigation... the police come into the room and stop everyone and don't let everyone leave. And they're promptly telling you all to stay where you were, stay where you are. When... They don't make it easy to find those. All right, let me see my pictures here. Inspector, the police inspector enters the room. Here is his photo. Everyone hold still. I'm Inspector Drummond, and you're all suspects in, and he looks around at the floor, what appears to be at least 2 murders.
I would very much like to know how you think we murdered these people.
I don't know yet, and that's why I'm here to investigate.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I wrote it all down. You can read the paper tomorrow. No, I'm Joe. That was a joke. It's okay to laugh at times like this. It's a coping mechanism. My point is, there was a giant sand monster, appeared, ate this person, then flew off into the vents. I'm sure if we go about looking now, we might be able to find it.
Right. Put that one over there. Move these 2 over there. Move them there. The cops come in and start pushing people around a little bit. He clearly does not have any time for your shenanigans with your...
Adrian's just kind of standing back, still next to the lady with like kind of holding her arms up like this and just does this. As busy as openly talking about the sand monster.
I don't think you're taking this seriously, sir. I swear to God, busy Jordan Walker has never lied. Well, except for that story about Lance Flanagan, but that was a whole thing.
As I'll get to in a moment, Busy. I know you. So he takes you each aside, and this might be a little repetitive, but we're going to go through this anyways. because that's part of the thing. So goes up to the good doctor first. Are you? What are you doing with the camera before about now?
Yeah, those old cameras are big.
They're pretty big.
Yeah. I don't know much about them. Could I get the film out?
Yeah, it's the 20s, so they're not like the really big cameras, but they're pretty big.
Yeah.
You could wind it and pull the film out.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Or pull the film plates out. I don't know how they work either, but
I would destroy.
you could do it. You could do it in a way that does not destroy the film. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you had to be in a dark room to do that with those old cameras or not. I don't know anything about old cameras.
I don't know for sure. I'm gonna say you don't in this particular instance. Maybe it's one of those modern Kodak cameras, or
little like disposables. Yeah,
you picked up at CVS before.
No, I probably have it like underneath my coat, and I'm just trying to like get the film out.
Okay. You can hang on one second. Ayla Ravenstar is trying to message me about dinner.
No, tell her we are busy.
Yes, I told her I had hot dogs and that I am busy. So you go ahead and get the camera up, get the film out of the camera without, as far as you know, destroying any of the film. Just about the time the inspector gets over to you. All right.
Good evening, Inspector.
Good evening. One of the, I'm going to assume that one of the security guards one of the officers already collected everyone's names, because we're going to skip ahead a little bit here. And so when the inspector comes over, he's like, Doctor, and he pulls out his thing. Dr. Souls, yes?
Algernon Souls, preeminent archaeologist of the Heidelberg University.
All right. That's a long way from here. What brings you to the Milton today, Doctor?
Well, obviously, this quite fantastic collection of ancient relics. I'm sure you can understand it would not be a far leap to see that it's a professional curiosity that brings me here.
Of course. Did you notice anything or anyone in the exhibit acting strange prior to the events?
Sadly, I was busy lecturing many of the guests, and unfortunately some of the museum staff here on the proper history of these artifacts. Were not as knowledgeable as they should have been. Another reason why I was here.
So you're an expert then in Egyptology?
I'm an expert on most ancient relics. My preeminent degrees and most experience comes from ancient Greece, and I'm going to like start going off in a long-winded spiel that he does not want to have anything to do with.
Yeah, he puts his hand up real quick. And, doctor, where were you when the chaos erupted?
Oh, well, I was standing somewhere over there. It was quite dark. The lights went out. There were flashes all over the place, and I'm sure you understand that in my age, it can be difficult to deal with rapidly changing lights.
Is there anything else that you can remember about the incident? No matter how trivial, Doctor, anything you have might help.
Well, there were, of course, the gunshots, but I'm sure you have already deduced as such with the multiple bullet holes throughout the room. There's screams and broken glass.
Yes, yeah. Give me a psychology roll. This is to gain information about the inspector himself.
Sure.
Oh, geez, nice. You want to spend 3 to make it an extreme success? You note that the inspector appears to be quite stressed out at the moment, like under much more stress than you might expect, even for a situation like this. So yeah.
I will say, Inspector, one of these events is a high ticket item in the city. I'm sure you have quite a professional stake in seeing that such riffraff and hullabaloo is taken care of.
Yes, and of course being understaffed never helps. There's a lot going on in the city today. Thank you, Doctor. I will, is your hotel, you have a hotel room here, Doctor?
I assume I did.
You probably would, yes. Yeah. Theoretically, you're supposed to have one, yes.
Yeah. I'll fiddle through my pockets and try to pull out a slip. Yes.
All right.
Floor 11, room 7B.
I see. Very well. Do me a favor, Doctor. Don't leave the building. You're free to roam about the hotel as you want, but no one's going to be leaving until I get this sorted out. Thank you again, Doctor. Did you put the camera back down, or are you still hiding it under your long coat?
I mean, I have no use for it, but I'm not just gonna like toss it to the side while I'm talking to this guy.
Yeah. I just assume
Just
like,
settle.
prior
Yes.
this drops to you. Before he got over there, had you have put it back? Assuming that you had time to put it back, would you have put it back?
Yeah, if I had time to put it back, I would put it back because I assume I can't put the film back in the camera and still be able to use it once you take it out. It's done. Yeah. So I have no use for the camera anymore. I'm just gonna, if I had a chance to stash that somewhere, I'd just leave it somewhere.
Okay, that's fine. I will assume that is the case.
In fact, can I take my cane and just, because I assume there's like one of those big flash bulbs on top, can I just smack that with my cane like real quietly, just make it look like the camera broke?
You probably could have prior to the commotion, like when the cops first came in. I'd say that's fine. Yeah, you could do that.
Cool.
Let's see. Next, he goes over to the doctor, the good doctor. Not the doctor. To Bissy.
Oh, you're back, Inspector.
Yeah, right.
Have we met?
So many doctors.
Let me tell you.
You look like just like Bissy.
Doctor.
I thought Bissy shaved her head. Anyways, Bissy. I see you've made your way to the show tonight. Find any politicians hiding in the sheets yet?
I think we're getting off subject here. I did tell you that there was a sand monster that flew into the fence, right? We should chase it down.
Yes. What? We'll get to that. What brings you to the hotel today, Bissy?
Millie.
The hotel is Milton, and I was reading Milton when I said it. Because you can't look at a word and not read it.
Nope.
So what brings you to the hotel tonight, Bissy? Were you here for the exhibit?
Please, officer, I'm busy to my friends. You can call me Ms. Walker.
He should giggles a little bit at that.
Yeah.
My point is, I need to go now. Your officers are welcome to accompany me. In fact, I would love it if they bring those shiny little pistols of theirs. But we should go. We should go now before it gets away.
Yeah, it's no one is leaving this hotel.
Look, I just want to find out where the vents go. That's all.
They go all throughout the building, don't they?
Exactly. So you and I will find a bellhop and we'll get this sorted out. Lickety split. I'll get my story. You'll get your perp, and voila.
Yeah. Tell me what you saw, Bissy. Or I'm sorry, Miss Walker.
I've told you 3 times. It's a giant sand monster. I don't know how many more times I have to say it before you believe me.
Yeah, at least one more, as always. Where were you when the chaos started, Miss Walker?
When the gunshot, I went outside. I went outside to fetch help. By the time the crowd had filed through, I poked my head back in to make sure everybody had gotten out okay. And holy smokes, there's a giant sand monster.
You just happened to look back in the room when the giant sand monster was turning into a dust pile and flying into the wind.
I've always had the most unlucky of timing, officer.
Go ahead and give me a psychology test as well.
Oh boy, that is a 5.
Yeah, it's not an easy roll. Just a little light fire in the room and go.
Well, that is a fumble.
Wow. Okay. You and the good detective, or the inspector, obviously have some heated, not heated past, but have some sandpapery past. And all you get from him at the moment is that he is tired of you. Just, I assume you don't have a hotel here, Miss Walker. So don't leave until everything is done. Did you have anyone with you taking photographs? Or was it just you? Just you tonight?
Are you kidding? This was supposed to be a society story, not a car crash.
All right.
It was just me.
All right. Don't go anywhere, but I appreciate all you can do to help me, Miss Walker. And he turns to Miss Livingston, who is standing next to Miss Shepherd, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The at least prime timely famous Ms. Livingston, I presume.
Inspector.
What brings you to the Milton this evening?
Well, sir, you know a social event just ain't a social event without Asia Marie.
That's what they tell me. Did you notice anything or anyone suspicious tonight?
Well, in fact, there were a handful of rather unsavory gentlemen who clearly intended to cause a ruckus.
Could you describe any of them for me?
Well, 3 of them were walking all tight-knit together, tall, thin, wearing matching pinstripe suits, and if you ask me, rather pretentious hats.
All right. Any pins? Were they wearing any pins? Did you notice any pins that they were wearing?
Not that I saw.
All right. Where were you when the chaos started?
Well, I was standing. Oh, goodness. Let's see. I had just been talking to the doctor and Busy. We're talking about the lower and how you don't say certain things too loudly. We're standing over there next to that real pretty beaded necklace. And then right about then, that's when the lights went out and shots started and everybody was screaming and it was just chaos.
All right. About that time, the coroner's office is beginning to load up the 2 bodies. The photographers, and he took a bunch of photos, and they're loading up the bodies. The inspector looks at looks at them, and kind of pinches his nose, and all right. Is there anything else you can remember, Miss Livingston? Anything at all, no matter how trivial it is?
Well, one of them did try to steal that there jar. I tried to stop him, but little old me. He fumbled it though, and he dropped it and it broke.
The jar. What kind of jar is that?
That well, the good doctor called it a canopic jar.
Can I wander in on this conversation and just again actually really hard?
Yeah.
Please do.
He was about to.
Please do.
He was about to gesture you over anyways. Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor.
Yeah, I'm on my way out, and I hear this question asked, and I go over and I just start like, well, you see, back in yada yada, and I go through I start going through the entire history of this thing.
Doctor, please. I don't have all night. Just can you get to sum it up in the quickest possible way you can? The fewest possible words, 5 words or less. What does this jar do?
Well, in layman's terms, you could say that it holds a dead person.
It holds it. All right, that's 5 words.
I would not, but for the simplicity of your report,
All right. He kind of pokes it with his pencil a little bit and pitches his nose again. Oh, all right. Asia, go ahead and give me a psychology test as well.
Negative.
Okay. Miss Walker, I don't suppose you'd do me a favor. And I would
Well, anything to help our boys in blue.
I would owe Miss Walker a favor. Seeing as how you are an investigative journalist, or at least that is the title that the paper has given you, and the good doctor here is at least somewhat knowledgeable, maybe possibly overly knowledgeable in the subject at hand. Could you help me with this investigation a bit, please? I have to get down to the morgue to see what they say about these bodies, and I just don't have time for all of this.
Officer, I would just like to see you try and stop.
Well, for once, I'm not going to try. I'll be back as soon as I can. I'm going to leave officers here on the scene, of course. Miss Livingston, if you'll excuse me.
Give him a little curtsy.
As you have gotten at least some.
Good inspector, are you telling me that you are deputizing this hysterical young woman?
Miss Walker? Miss Walker or Miss Livingston? Which one are you? Neither one of them seemed hysterical. The one is just...
The one yammering about a sand monster of all things.
Yeah.
She's clearly had a fright and needs to sit down.
I imagine the vapors are getting to her, yes. Miss Walker has been known to get most of her stories at least 50% correct, so it's good enough for me for the moment. Miss Livingston, since you are able to identify these individuals that were in here, if you would be so kind as to help point them out to Miss Walker.
Certainly.
I will be back again as soon as I can be. I do appreciate anything you can do. Just question the guests. Just ask them the same questions I was asking you, please. Anything else you find, just write it down and let me know, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Don't make me regret this, Miss Walker. Please.
I wouldn't dare.
You were in
Darling,
here
we gotta
during the
work
murder.
on your
I'm
charms.
fairly certain I can make something stick. So he says as he's walking out the door. And he departs. He talks to one of the lieutenants, the officer lieutenant on scene. You can't hear what he says, but he points to the three of you, and he points to Miss Walker in particular. And you can see him kind of get a scowl, and the officer kind of shakes his head like, what do you want me to do, kind of deal, and points to his pistol and then points back to Walker. Then smiles big and then leaves the room.
Izzy will turn around. She'll put her hands on her hips and in kind of the superhero pose. And she'll look at Asia and Dr. Egernon. Doctor, I'll pretend I didn't hear you calling me hysterical. We all know what we saw.
I was simply trying to save whatever reputation you might think you may still have.
Look,
as I said, you can't go around revealing these things.
It's not going to matter if we can find proof.
And what is it you plan on doing with this proof?
Take it to the papers. People love that.
You think that's not been done before?
It hasn't been done by me.
No, but it has been done by much more powerful, wealthy individuals. I'm sure you can't recall any of their names because they never actually existed, or so they would have you believe.
Doctor, I think you're the one who's acting hysterical now.
It's the second most ridiculous thing I've heard today. Just behind overly educated. Can you believe that? That is the most...
Doctor,
Overly educated.
I'm relying on your education. I need your help here.
There's no such thing as overly educated.
Of course not. I need your help.
Upholding the values of ignorance is preposterous.
Well said. Well said. You've got us beat all here by a country mile in terms of smarts. That's why I need your help.
Jill looks a little insulted.
Well, then I would advise that we all retire to our room, hang some sheets in front of our vents, and wait until we are allowed to leave.
Tell you what, how about we call that Plan B? And Plan A is we find out what happened to that sand monster.
Do you have a particular idea in mind as to what you're going to do with the sand monster once you find it?
That I don't know. Last time I went to the beach, I got sand everywhere. Had to scrape it out with a hose. I imagine the principle might work much the same.
I'm not certain it would. I would direct you to Exhibit A, the sandy desiccated pile that used to be the rather uneducated curator or tour guide, whoever she was.
You know,
She was an entire doctor, sir.
You know, you raised a good point. Well, I suppose
Entire doctor. I'd like to see what degree. I'd like to see what university gave her degree.
Well, I'm certain she'd show you, but she's a little indisposed.
About that time, overhearing what you're saying, the good this gentleman here on the end, that one, for those of you who can see it, comes up, and she was a doctor from the University of the University of London. Forgive me, I am. Where's his last name? I can't see his last name.
Vittorio Deo something.
Yes.
How do you extend it?
There it is.
Diodato.
Oh,
Yeah.
Deodato.
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 Yes. I'm Signor Deodato. I am the actual curator. She was one of my associates.
Well, then maybe you might know what that monster was.
I do not know. It must be supernatural. I do not know what it was. So he's a Signor Deodato's has a silky smooth voice that is heavily Italian, which I'm not going to do too much of an Italian voice because I don't want the hate.
No.
Listen, Padre, perhaps you might know what those ruffians were about. Gangsters
He's not a
don't.
pope.
Well, whatever. Gangsters don't normally hit up Egyptology exhibits. Any idea what they were doing here?
I imagine they were attempting to steal the items and sell them on the black market. There's always a collector's market for these kinds of things, the Canopic Jar in particular.
No.
My journalist knows to tell me there's more to it than that.
It's possible.
Oh,
Although I do
much.
see that there is at least one item currently missing from our collection. Not simply damaged, but actually missing. The scarab amulet is gone.
My. That is interesting.
Any reason why they'd want to take that?
It is made of gold.
No.
But nobody's left the room except for the police.
No one's left the hotel.
Right. Almost everyone's left the room.
I remember seeing it when I looked in, and it was still there. I think it might still be in this room. Is that okay if I make that assumption? I think it's interesting story-wise.
You can certainly bring it up as a suggestion, sure. It would certainly, if not be in the room, certainly still be in the hotel, because
Sure.
no one has left the hotel. So, but yeah, you certainly, free to say.
So it didn't look like the gangster people made it out? Is that what you're saying?
No, they like so the only people left in the room are the people that are the group of you in the room right now, plus the people
Right.
on the screen there. So no one else made it out of the hotel though. The police got to the hotel before anyone was able to actually. At least the majority of people were able to leave the hotel. So
The gangsters arrested then?
no,
We don't know yet.
they're as far as you know, they're blended into the crowd for the most part. Like you guys are still on the 17th floor. Everyone else is somewhere else in the hotel.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I suppose we can canvass for the area, canvass the area for the guys. That. Well, do we want to do that?
Sure.
So rather than role playing 100 individual scenes, is there a better way for us to? I mean, we would probably recognize them from.
There's
before.
a few ways to go about what you guys want to do next. But you still have two other people in the room if you want to still talk to them. I need to figure out what I did with my hotel. What did I do with the hotel room? The whole hotel. There we go.
I don't know.
I got it. There it is.
What about you, Mr. Reese? Do you know anything about those ruffians?
I hear you.
Mr. Reese.
You talking to me?
No, Reese.
Coleman Reese.
Oh, okay.
Let me find Reese again here. I lost track of all my stuff.
What were the questions the detective wanted us to ask? I'm trying to remember.
Just like, why are you here? Did you notice anything? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just the basic questions that a reporter would ask.
Gotcha.
I was here simply enjoying the exhibit. I did see those ruffians. I suspect that they, well, I know for a fact that they're part of the McLaughlin gang. I've seen some of them before. In fact, I am not entirely certain, but I think Mr. McLaughlin may have been hiding out in here as well. I was trying to avoid any eye contact. I do owe him a great deal of money.
That damn McLaughlin.
Not a.
Always an issue.
Do you think that's why they hit your hotel?
Maybe?
Have you done anything to piss them off lately?
Aside from owed them money?
I have
That
not.
that might be just enough.
I'm just a salesman. I'm an insurance salesman, to be specific. I don't have much going on, but
Oh, so you're not affiliated with this hotel?
I am not affiliated with the hotel. No, although I did sell an insurance policy to the hotel some time ago.
My, that is interesting. So what exactly does the insurance cover?
Oh, everything. Fire and damage, liability, theft, of course, yes.
Sand monsters, I assume.
Well, that's not necessarily covered verbatim in the clauses, although there is a force majeure, I suppose, if there was a sand monster of some variety that clogged up the ventilation. Arkham's razor, nice, well done. But yes, I didn't sell any insurance specifically for this event. The University of London, the Museum of London would have had the insurance on this. There is a wedding downstairs, however, that I did sell insurance for, and I gave my card to the groom this morning when I saw him. I suspect he's going to need some insurance with a family on the way and all, you know.
Do love a good wedding.
I find it interesting that you're here at this event when you're not insuring it. You sure you don't have any money stake in this situation?
I have no money personally invested, although it is always nice to hear the full provenience of an item in the event that it ends up in the hands of a private collector and needs to be insured at some point.
So when all this is said and done, money exchanges hands, insurance passes, you get nothing. Is that right?
Well, not at this particular event, of course not. But I work on a commission base, typical of the insurance industry. If an item was insured for $100,000, I would make a tidy commission.
So now that tragedy has befallen this poor hotel, I'm sure you're going to tempt them into some insurance.
Well, as I said, they're already covered. The university will be covering the artifacts in here. What I'm going to try to do is ensure that all things are on the up and up, and that the policy is not in any way violated. Doesn't do a lot of good to pay out the insurance if we don't need to. Money in the pocket is better than money in the pocket. Money in the pockets of the insurance company is better than money in the pocket of the hotel. But so far, there's been no damage to the hotel itself. A few bullet holes, but that's something that we can certainly chalk up to improper inspection of guests bringing firearms into the building. Firearms are not part of the policy.
A little bit of speck will clear that right up. So you have no stake in these events at all. What are you thinking about the sand monster then?
What do I think of the sand monster? I think it was a myth. I think it was simply the smoke from the gun wafting into the ventilation system.
Well, I see.
I saw no such sand monster.
The dead woman over there, and the dead woman over there. She looks real awful dead for an illusion.
Oh, dead, no doubt, no doubt. Yes, most likely died of fright. I hear it is a thing women often do. Just her heart just couldn't hold out any longer, and the poor journalist over there was clearly shot through the neck. No sand monster there.
Quite, I see. Ah, thank you for your time.
Of course, I appreciate my card, if you will. In your line of work, I have no doubt that liability insurance and liable insurance may be necessary.
I resent that remark.
You might want to find yourself an insurance salesman who doesn't believe you're just going to drop dead any moment of fright, as women do.
And I'll go talk to Celia now.
Okay, she's been listening to you guys talking because she's standing pretty much next to Miss Livingston though most of the time.
And Miss Shepherd, what brought you to the hotel this fine day?
I was here simply taking in the culture. Yes. Go ahead and give me a psychology roll.
Say it was conviction, darling.
Yes. Let me try that again. Yes. I was simply here taking in the exhibits, a bit of culture and nightlife. Okay. I mean, you already succeeded in the roll earlier, Livingston.
Okay.
So.
Oh, good. Because that was a terrible roll.
Yeah. You can tell definitely, Busy, that she is most definitely not being truthful here.
Well, I've heard my share of stinkers in my day, and I'll tell you that's one of the greatest loads I've ever seen. Why don't you tell us what you're actually here?
She looks around a bit and looks at the bullet holes a couple times and then looks around at the door. And I'm telling you, honestly, I'm only here taking in the cultural sights. I didn't know anything else was going to happen.
Cut the crap, Miss Shepherd. With all due respect, tell us the truth.
Give me a charm or intimidate roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you get before you roll. Hang on, like give you a bonus die there because you guys have done a pretty good job going here. Go ahead.
Charm or intimidate. I am great at neither of those. Oh, charm's not bad.
Ouch.
Not that good.
Did that roll with a bonus die? I don't think that rolled with a bonus die.
Mm-mm.
Try that again. I don't know why it didn't give you the bonus die on that.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's a much better roll. And yes, so I don't know why I didn't give you the bonus die the first time. Anyway, yeah, that is a success. The way bonus dies work is to basically let you roll. It's like advantage in 5e.
Yeah.
You basically
It didn't do it the
roll.
second time either, which is
It didn't.
I don't know why
what's
it's
going
not
on
doing
there.
it.
That's weird.
Oh.
Either way, we noticed it didn't do it, and it got the roll either way. So, you were using charm, right?
Yep.
Okay. If you promise not to print it, I'll tell you. Red Jim McLaughlin sent me here to keep an eye on things. His gang. I knew he was going to hit the place tonight. I didn't know it was going to go like this, but I didn't know anyone was going to die.
And I don't suppose you knew anything about any sand monsters.
I definitely didn't know anything about any sand monsters. I know. Red Jim was trying to get the Canopic Jar for a personal collection for I don't know who, but somebody wanted it for a personal collection, and it was part of the. I don't know. That's what he was after, was the Canopic Jar.
I see. Well, I don't see any reason your name has to be involved as long as we can figure out what actually happened.
I appreciate it.
Do you know the names of the men we're looking for? The ones who are somewhere here in the hotel?
I don't know all of their names, but that's not who I want. I don't know all of the names, but I know that McLaughlin was here along with some of his people. She gives you a couple names. I'm trying to find them, but I don't have their names right off the top of my head.
It's all good.
Um,
So I think I'm going to turn to my compatriots and say, well, seems like we've got two leads here. We can find these McLaughlin boys and figure out what they were up to, whether it was truly just a case of a theft gone wrong, or we could do what I wanted to do in the first place and search for those vents, find that sand monster. Or we always still
I'm
have.
afraid I left my vent searching dress at the cleaners.
That's the great thing about vent searching. No dress code.
This is real silk busy.
Tell you what, I'll you help me find this sand monster. I'll have you swimming in silk.
Be
With
swimming
my
in
background, with my background, would I have any idea? Could I make any sort of roll as to if there's anything I could do to contain a sand monster that came from a cursed canopic jar via archaeology or occult or something? I'm fairly good at both of those.
It would probably actually be under the mythos role.
Okay.
Maybe an occult role, but that would be very difficult to do. I mean, it was obviously held in a canopic jar, so it's not impossible.
Right. We just need to know how to do that again.
How to get it back in the jar? Yeah.
Right. Well, the now broken jar.
Right.
What does the museum lady's corpse actually look like? Is it heavily desiccated, or is she just like lying there with no clear signs of?
No, it's been removed from the room already, but
Okay.
But before it was taken out of the room, it was extremely desiccated. It looked like it was a mummified, desiccated corpse.
And are the shards of the canopic jar still around?
They are. They've got a couple little tag numbers, those little tinted numbers by them, and the police photographer is still taking photos.
Okay,
of everything in the room. So
I want to go over there and just take out like a pen and just go down and just start poking them and see if I can see anything interesting on there, like runes or.
Give me an archaeology roll.
Sweet.
I told you you get a chance to use it eventually. Regular success. Okay. The Canopic Jar. Give me.
I know I passed that. But could I push that for a chance of getting an even better roll?
Yes, I don't remember how pushing works exactly. It's a thing we have not done yet.
Ah,
Pushing the roll.
I won't.
Justify how you wish to do it. Failing a push roll is typically dire. Only skills. You can't push luck. Blah, blah, blah. You could spend the 23 points and up it.
Nah.
Pushing a roll is a thing I actually do need to figure out how that's done. That's the thing we need to do more often. Okay.
And I believe you just roll again if you have a reason to continue the result, and if you failed like something bad, it's like getting a complication in
Right,
Star Trek.
Right. I'm not sure if it changes the difficulty. I don't think it changes the difficulty at all, but
No.
Yeah. I know that if you fail at something bad, something dire happens.
Yeah, I don't know if you could make anything dire out of me poking Canopic Jar shards. So
you could further break the Canopic Jar.
You'd be amazed.
I won't worry about it. We don't need to worry about it.
Okay, that's fine. It's up to you. So there are no runes or anything on the Canopic Jar that you can see. The jar is broken.
There was a tablet associated with this, right?
There was a tablet associated with it. So
where's that?
Morgan J. Twitch said pretty much you have to explain how you're making the roll to make it again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the tablet is still on the display stand.
Okay. I did look up the skill for archaeology, and it says push examples. Taking more time to study the site is really all that's required for archaeology.
Right.
It's not hard to push archaeology. I'm not going to worry about that, though. I did get a success. If I didn't find anything, I'm not going to worry about trying to push for a hard success. I will go over to the tablet and see if I can do basically the same thing. See if I can figure out if there's any instructions on there.
Okay. All right, what'd you get? I'll give you another archaeology check on that.
All right. There we go.
28. That's pretty good. Spend 11 to get next year. So you got a hard success. So the tablet basically explains the same thing that the doctor had said earlier. It talks about the spell this magic spell that Ibnhotep used to try to kill or to take power, basically. It references the Shabbat Figure, the amulet, stuff like that. But mostly it is a descriptor of his punishment and an outline of something called the shriveling, which gets into some deeper. If you have mythos, I would let you roll mythos on it, but I don't think you do have mythos.
I don't think you can.
Yeah,
start
no,
with
you
mythos.
can't buy mythos.
You pretty much can't start with mythos, yeah.
I would have loved to start with mythos because I think it would go with this character, but
yeah,
it's not an option starting off.
If we play him, if he doesn't die here, and we play a second campaign at some point, a second storyline somewhere along the line, you'll get some mythos. But it basically reads like it's instructions on how to do a spell of some sort.
I assume this is translated, like it's a translation of the tablet.
There is a translation of the tablet next to it that tells you what it is, but
okay.
Your archaeology would basically let you understand what's going on.
Okay, gotcha.
So, like, it's not something that everyone can read, but you certainly could. Other items that are still in the room is the beaded necklace. There's a scroll, a statue, the bird, a figure that's made of jasper, the game, and then you have I think you took the amulet. Someone took the amulet and put it in their pocket.
I took the amulet, yeah.
So there are other items that you can investigate should you want to. Let's go ahead and take 5 minutes since the missus is home and I need to go make sure everything is squared away there. And anyone who wants to take a bathroom break can. We'll be right back.
All right.
clicked the wrong button.
Having a wardrobe malfunction. I was fine until I took the headset off.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, that is
You
us. Bick.
Right.
Slightly longer than I wanted, but not by much. A cat got stuck in the room, so.
Oh.
The Chister monster he might still be in here, I'm not sure. All right. So when last we left, you guys were, the doctor was investigating the Canopic Jar. There were some other items in the room that can be investigated if you wish to. And Busy was trying to figure out how to get everyone to crawl into the vents and be eaten by a monster.
I'm beginning to think she is on the side of the monster.
So I'm not planning on crawling into the vents, but what I want to do is I want to find somebody who works at the hotel and find out if there's like a central furnace area or somewhere where all the vents lead.
Gotcha. So you would know from your experience that Florence Bishop is the director of the hotel. She is a younger lady who was also at one time a photographer. She's 34 roughly. And she's one of the, she doesn't run the hotel. She's like one of the heads of the support staff of the hotel, and she would be your primary contact here at the hotel for that sort of thing. And you would probably know her from previous dealings.
Great. Well, hey, Florence Bishop, how are you doing, old so and so?
So you go find Florence, and she's, I tell you, this kind of thing going on in the hotel, it's tragic.
Trust me, you have no idea half of it. Listen,
Florence Bishop.
Listen, Flo. I'm trying to figure out where a thing may have gone, and I need your help. I don't know if you heard, but I've been deputized. They want me to find out what caused this and show the world. And that's what I intend to do.
I highly doubt the inspector told you to share it with the world, but
it was implied. But if you help me, you not only will you get more business from having the most haunted hotel in the city, but you will also get more business from being a true justice solving hotel.
I will do what I can. What do you need exactly?
I'm trying to find the central air. Where do all the... If you were to... Say you were made of sand and went into the vents, and this doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to find out where the vents lead. Is there some central area that I can scope out?
There'd be a central heating unit in the basement.
Why, Flo, that's perfect. The basement, you say? Is anybody down there?
I don't think so. I mean, shouldn't be. Might be some staff roaming around, but I don't think so.
Please, don't send anybody down there. I'm going to go get those bully boys, and we're going to go check it out ourselves.
All right.
You're a lifesaver, Flo. I owe you. And you know what? A favor from Busy is a favor well kept.
We'll see about that.
Damn straight we will. No, I got. She aways back to the group. She says, "Hot damn! I have us a lead. There's a central heating unit in the basement. I think that's where our Sandy boy might have gone."
Mr. Sandman.
Please don't kill me.
That hasn't been written yet. That hasn't been written yet, or else I'd be referencing.
Right.
I am going to continue my inspection of the artifacts in the room.
Okay. Put that over here. Give me one one more archaeology test to just discover, to root out all the things in the room.
This is why they pay me the big bucks.
Good Lord, a
The
5.
big professorial bucks.
The many professorial dollars. I think you are the richest guy at the hotel.
With my 55 credit rating,
Yeah.
I am wealthy. I am loaded.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, because I dropped mine quite a bit.
Yeah, you were just above where Miss Asia was. All right. So the first thing you look at is the Shabbat Figure. It's it made red jasper. It's a slim figure. It's this. I shared it with you already. It is a slim figure carved into the image of a pharaoh holding a crooked flail. The figure's torso and legs are etched with hieroglyphics. The carvings can be translated with that roll that you got there that is ridiculous. With a little bit of hieroglyphics that you understand from your professoring days, even though you don't have the language hieroglyphics. They're a prayer of protection. And it's a small figure. It's only about 4 or 5 inches tall. Let's see. Yes, okay. The next thing, you're not looking at the amulet at the moment, so I'm not going to tell you that. There's the beaded necklace that I showed earlier. It is a typical pharaonic adornment.
There's a necklace other than the... Oh, there it is. Okay.
The big beaded necklace, yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
There is a scroll. This is the oops, that was not what I meant to do. The scroll. This is the tablet that was next to everything. There you go. Share that. So that's what that looked like.
The tablet was what had all the shriveling and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. I already wrote that down. Let's read that again.
There is the statue, this baby here. That is, it looks to be relatively unrelated to the current. It looks to be an artifact that doesn't match with the dynasty, the date and time of the rest of the exhibit here. Likely it was added in just to be another item in the exhibit. And that most people wouldn't know, but because of the
museums do that all the time.
Yeah, it just turns out that your role was good enough that you know that.
Yeah.
The Sakara bird, sorry. Pretty typical stuff. That's also has no real relevance that you can tell, nor does the game. The Sinet game. That's it. I think everything else, because your role is so good, the only thing that really has any direct connection that you can tell to the Ibnhotep story and whatnot is the Shabbat Figure, the Canopic Jar, likely the Scarab Amulet, and that scroll. The Death Scroll, which you've already read. So everything else in here.
I did? What was on the scroll?
That was the thing that had the story of Ibnhotep's demise and all that stuff.
Okay.
And the spell. The quote unquote spell. The shriveling spell.
Shriveling spell. Gotcha.
Yeah. Not a thing you can cast, but it's there. There's actually parts of it missing. You can see in the picture. There's a big chunk of it missing. It looks to have been missing for a long time, though. So it doesn't.
Oh, so the scroll and the tablet are the same thing.
The scroll and the tablet are the same thing.
Okay, all right. That's where I was confused.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
when I think of scroll, I don't think a large bit of stone that I can't roll up and put into a scroll case.
Yes, you just have to remember that this is ancient Egypt, and while paper was a thing, it was not a common thing. Stone was much more obvious. It's also not entirely atypical of those things were found in Memphis all the time, like around the Memphis area. Anyway,
but there's not actually a paper scroll. It is a series of tablets.
Correct. It is a tablets. That is the scroll.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
For my confusion from earlier. That's one of the reasons I needed a 5-minute break, so I could check out some stuff that I was confused about, even having read this adventure like 7 times. So that is what you've got. What are you doing? Are you doing anything with the Shabbat figure? Or are you leaving it there?
I'd imagine I'd have gloves on. I'm sure Dr. Souls would take some gloves with him. I think a lot of figures in this time period wear gloves out and about, especially rich people.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
So they're not like archaeologist gloves, but they're like, fashion gloves. So he has those on. He does have the figure, and he's picking up and looking around and what kind of and all of that. Is anyone really paying all that much attention?
Busy will when she returns.
Yeah, Busy's probably the only one who would be paying any real attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not going to pocket the figurine, but I am going to just walk away with it.
All right.
Unless somebody stops me.
Asia's vaguely interested, kind of curious how the Egyptian occult stuff compares to what she grew up with in the Appalachians, but she's not nearly as involved as the doctor over here. Okay. Just an FYI, Jeff. Mm-hmm. The stream has switched Jack and I.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yep.
Good God, people. What are you doing to me?
All right, time to switch roles.
Right.
Have your Dr. Souls now, and
suddenly I am terribly interested in all of the Egyptian things.
Yes.
I
have fixed it. That's a problem that comes from when you guys
turn the cameras off.
Turn your cameras off, yeah. That's the joy of Zoom. All right. So you've got the Shabbat figure. Go ahead and give me a Busy. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden check. And Doctor, you go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check that you're probably going to fail. Which is not wholly relevant, but just for sake of doing it. Okay. Man, Busy has got some terrible rolls.
I'm succeeding only by sheer force of will.
Right. So, Doctor, you do a terrible job of palming the item, but Busy does a terrible job of noticing you palming the item. So, so you have the item on you. In fact, I'm going to attach this to your sheet under inventory because it does a thing.
Hey.
You should, I think, be able to click when you go to your character sheet and you look at inventory, there's a grayish square on the right-hand side. You should be able to double-click on that square and see what the thing does.
Okay.
Oh, I gave you the wrong item. You have that item. You have the item also, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I do see the amulet.
And there you go, is the Shabbat figure as well.
I'll ignore that for now since I haven't actually had time to examine it.
Yeah, I figured you'd be fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I would like to notice that he's knee deep in antiques, and she's just going to ask him what he's found.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he's not at all hiding the fact that he's been looking at all these things.
Right. Yeah. So she goes up and she's got like her notebook out, and she like puts her head over his shoulder, just completely not worrying about his personal space. What have you found? Anything fascinating?
Oh, it's all fascinating, my dear. Oh, extremely fascinating. There's quite a few interesting artifacts that they have here. I'm actually very surprised that they let them out of the museum and into this particular not very well secured exhibit. Clearly, they did not know what they had on them. If they did,
Ah, well, Let me rephrase.
The University of London can't be trusted with their own school uniforms, let alone anything of actual worth.
Look, if you got a scoop, I'd love to put it in the paper.
Well, as I said, my dear, I don't know about scoops all that well. They're liable to get you into more danger than anything else.
Busy Jordan Walker was born for danger. Don't you worry about that. Speaking of danger, I think I know where you may be going. There's a central furnace room. Do you have anything that might be able to help us dealing with the same monster?
I have a shovel in my room.
If I let you go back to your room, will you just hide under the covers, or will you actually get the shovel? Because far be it from me, I think a shovel may actually be useful here.
Covers would be much better served as insulation from the vents than hiding underneath, dear child.
Good point. What I don't know about you, but I've got some heat on me. Do you have any kind of weapon on you?
I've got a Roscoe.
He straightens his jacket
if they're carrying.
Taps his cane like all official. Like I have no idea what you're speaking about.
Okay, fair enough. And what about you, Miss Livingston?
Ma'am, a lady is always ready.
I'll take that as a yes. Well, what do you say we go down and check out that furnace?
We're asking to borrow trouble. My daddy always said, if you heard something out in the woods, you didn't.
I'm not just asking to borrow interest, but I'm not just asking to borrow trouble, but I'm giving it interest.
That you are. But
All right, so just for your guys' edification, I forgot that I had taken pictures of the hotel for this campaign that are not in the normal thing. And there is the actual ballroom from the hotel.
that is super pretty.
Yeah, neat.
Just to help, flavor the mood.
Absolutely.
So you're heading into the basement then.
Yes. Not to this beautiful ballroom.
This is the ballroom you're currently in.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's the 17th floor ballroom. There are other rooms too. Now that I remember that I have them, I will show them to you as we go. So heading down into the basement, there is also a ballroom in the basement. There is also the other, what I told you was down there. The heating apparati are down there. I'm going to try to shrink this down a little bit.
Before we get there, though,
Yeah.
Is the doctor letting us know about this translation about the Canopic Jar tablet, blessed with prayer and sealed with honey and blessed with prayer?
As far as letting you know about the
translation there, because that seems relevant.
Yeah, I was actually just reading that now. I didn't know that was shared with everybody.
Actually, those tags I shared with you, those are actually the tags that are everyone knows that stuff. Those are the tags.
Okay, that's what's on the things.
Those are are the exhibit tags. It's the stuff that I thought I had shared earlier and did not.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, we can still say the professor figured it, found it on the tags, and let us know.
Yep, that's fine.
I'll because this is information we would have had earlier when I was bringing up the point of what we could do against a sand monster and all that. Eventually, after seeing all this, I would go over and tap my cane on the one about the Canopic Jar. Well, if we are to be going after this alleged sand beast you think you saw, you might want to find some, if this story is to be believed, and, well, quite frankly, that They wrote quite simply back then, and simple things could work if you know how to coerce the mystery out of them. We may simply need to find some honey. Maybe we should head to the kitchen.
Sweet sassafras of Sandusky. I think you're right, Professor. Absolutely. We'll stop by the kitchen on our way out. I'm sure Flo wouldn't mind if we go ahead and make off with some honey.
Okay. You're going to head down to the kitchen, which is on the second floor, along with the other events that are going on. So first we'll have you stop at the second floor. Second floor lobby. I will show this to all of you because it is awesome. This is the actual lobby from the current hotel.
It looks
Swanky.
like a TARDIS.
It does look a lot like a TARDIS, doesn't it? So you're on the second floor. You also note that on the second floor goings-ons are the other events of the build. Let's see. There's a large sign at the beginning, at the entrance of the lobby. It says the Sterling Holmes wedding reception and has an arrow pointing to one side, which is the side the kitchen is also on. There's also another little arrow that points in the other direction that is SGS, Annual Convention. And under SGS it says in parentheses, the Society of Geological Studies. These are the other two events that are currently going on at the hotel. And they're both on this floor.
So this kind of contradicts what the insurance adjuster said. Is that a purposeful mistake, or
What depends on what he said.
he said there was a wedding that he was going on as
Yes,
well?
the Sterling Holmes wedding reception.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. There's two other events. There's the Sterling Holmes wedding reception, which is the wedding itself, and the Society of Geological Studies, which he did not actually mention. He didn't talk about that one at all.
My mistake.
So, two other events at the hotel, not just one. He only talked about one.
Well, while we're passing, I will be scanning for like the gangsters that did the robbery.
Okay.
Asia pauses in the doorway of the wedding and sort of stares wistfully for a moment before moving on.
Okay.
The doctor basically does the same thing with the geological study.
Yeah. So when you head up towards where the wedding reception is, it says Edith Sterling and Charles Holmes wedding, and there's a big Catholic marker there. Yeah. So actually, I was mistaken. The wedding wasn't here. The reception is here. But whatever. That's not really relevant. That also says that photography provided by Florence Bishop, hotel, as a hotel courtesy, part of the concierge service, and there in her little thing on the sign it says photography developed on site. And as you wistfully look into the Geological Society, the SGS is an international organization of geologists, and this is their annual convention that is held in a different city each year. This year just happens to be being held in Providence. There are a number of lectures, and there's a large exhibit, not a large exhibit, but there's an exhibit with several geological samples in the room as well, which, without going into, you can't see, but you can certainly go in if you want to.
I was actually probably planning on bouncing between events because I actually did put a lot of points into geology.
I saw that, it works out nice that there's an event going on. When you look at the map that I shared with you guys earlier, I think I shared with you guys anyways. I'll share it now. Number 3 is the reception itself, and the kitchen is off to the side of that. So you'll be going...
Oh, so we have to go through here anyway.
You're either going to go through the wedding, or you can go around through that one, through the lobby itself and into the kitchen. That big open area with the weird looking penis is that is the lobby itself. So
Asia will go through the wedding. She will literally dance her way through the wedding reception.
okay.
I'm sure the reception is like everybody's on lockdown right now, right?
The reception is still ongoing. There are just cops in the
okay.
area. So
Interesting. All right, gotcha.
Before Asia goes into it, I would like Busy to just stop her for a second and say, "Why don't you see if there's any if those hooligans are there? Do your thing."
Okay. My thing is telling stories on the radio.
Wow.
And charming people.
Yeah.
Not finding gangsters. But I'll see what I can see.
Appreciate it.
So she will go and she will scan for gangsters as she's whirling about and dancing with different partners.
okay.
Unapologetically cutting in.
Okay. Give me a let's see. Give me an intelligence roll.
I think she'll have a similar conversation with the professor as well, the doctor. Kind of like
Really?
Ouch.
Right?
You could spend 12 luck. You've got 70.
That's 70. I might need the lux.
Do it.
All right. We'll spend 12 luck.
All right.
No, not 8. 58. We have 58 left. Okay.
So what you remember is that there is actually a speakeasy in this building as well that is not known to the public. But being who you are, you have probably seen this actual no shit speakeasy in that actual hotel. So that is also in a portion of the basement.
Okay.
So
Nice.
likely you will probably not find the gangsters in the wedding reception, but knowing what you know now. That said, you make your way dancing through the wedding reception and on into the kitchen. What are you gonna do, Busy? Are you gonna go into the just gonna go around the lobby into the kitchen, or are you gonna go somewhere else?
Yeah, I think Busy will go through the lobby, just take a quick look for any gangsters. If she doesn't find them, she'll continue into the lobby and talk her way past the chef and grab a thing of honey.
Right. Doesn't take much. It's not hard to get the honey. The chef just looks at you like, "What are you doing in here? You want the honey? Take the honey."
What can I say? I have a sweet tooth.
So you grab
Asia will. Sorry. While we are in the kitchen, Asia will grab some sort of sealed jar. Doesn't matter if it's full or empty.
Good idea.
Grab like a mason jar full of like jam.
Sure. So he can have a snack when we bind him back into his jam jar.
Hold him in a jam jar. Doctor, as you go into
my unholy jam jar.
Right. The Schmuckers. That's what they call Schmuckers. When you go into the geological convention, you note that in addition to lectures, there are a couple of unique large displays of geological samples and a complete chemistry set for some simple geological field tests that can be conducted on the items so that the geologists that are here can have their nerd porn. Give me a science geology test if you'd like. Well, if you want to. Go ahead and give me a science geology roll. That's what I'm trying to say here. Oh.
Wow.
All right.
Use that luck.
That's a lot of luck.
No.
I mean, it's not like you need it for next session.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, but you might need it later tonight.
And you only get 55. Remember, you can't use them in rolls or in like sanity tests either. So
Yeah, and the things where you need it.
Or damage or that kind of stuff. You don't. The label, the one of the samples is labeled Torbernite. Torbernite. But you don't remember reading much about Torbernite in the past. You what that actually is escaping you at the moment.
Okay.
And I assume you don't have science chemistry.
No.
You spell Torbernite?
Torberniete. Torbernite.
Okay.
Can you ask one of the other scientists what it is?
You certainly could do that.
And is there a reason it stands out from all of these other rocks?
It's a larger exhibit. So it's also one of the only ones you don't recognize. But it is specifically one of the larger exhibits, and it's in a section that has there's torbernite and radium and something that's currently labeled it's labeled to be classified. I'm not sure if it's actually been discovered at this point.
Unknown sample.
Unknown sample, yeah. But yeah, it's a large piece of rock, or several large pieces of it has several chunks of rock that make up a large exhibit of this item, and that is why it stands out. So,
okay. Are there other geologists milling about and doing their own thing?
Yeah, there's lots of them. They're talking mostly about the incident on the 17th floor. But yes, you can talk to any of them. A couple of them are playing around with the chemistry set. But
sure, I'll strike up a conversation with somebody.
Dr. Algernon, Dr. Sales. It's good to see you. It's finally got you to finally join us. I hear you were on the 17th floor. What on earth is going on?
I was indeed quite a commotion, something not befitting such a prominent locale.
Yes. The scandalous, of course. Not to be.
To think the amount of money I paid for my room here, and let alone invitations to both of these fine exhibits here, and we had ruffians and gunshots going off.
I knew we shouldn't have had this in Providence, Rhode Island. Much better in New York City.
I would agree.
Who'd have thought? We might as well have been in Chicago, for God's sakes.
Well, I did get clearance to leave the area, and, well, there's not much going on up there anymore, except policemen and photographers and all of that business.
Oh, yes.
So I figured I'd make my way down here and see what we were all getting up to.
Well, at the moment we're playing around with this hydrochloric acid, using it for some testing on some of these rocks. It's amazing how he takes a dropper out and dips it on one of the rocks, and you can see it start to fizzle the sandstone up. Dr. Florin here has decided, or has brought up a keen point that using hydrochloric acid to determine the deterioration rate of some of these stones can help us better classify some of their properties.
Quite ingenious, yes. In my own field of study, various acids have been used to gently wipe away various debris and occlusions and whatnot.
Yes. Archaeology, yes, Doctor, yes, I remember. You have a strong interest in geology, though.
Yes, of course. You find most artifacts are under the ground, the same place where rocks are.
Yes.
There's quite an overlap, really.
Of course.
But I have not come across any rocks such as these before.
Well, here, of course, you have radium, very popular, used in a great deal of watch faces and things like that at the moment. And this is Torbernite, torbernite. Sorry, it is also has some of the similar properties to radium in that it is has some radioactive properties. It doesn't have the same glow and aesthetics of the radium, but it has been known to be quite useful in rodent repellent. Actually, there's some talk of us putting it in, using it to ward off things like cockroaches and even rats to some extent.
Quite right, and with none of that pesky odor or other risk of poisoning oneself.
No side effects whatsoever.
Of course. Should I ever find any out in the field, I'll have to line my pockets.
Of course, yes. It is a quite handy thing. If you'll excuse me, Doctor, I'm going to get back to the experiment.
Of course, enjoy yourself.
And you, Doctor. Try not to let the events upstairs sully your experience here at the SGS convention.
Oh, believe me, I've spent a lot of my life in Greece, and, well, at least we're back in the States.
Yes. So it's... Voice for Nuke and the Sand Monster. Yes, if you've been a lot of time in Greece, then the events upstairs were simply a simple Tuesday for you, yes.
Of course.
Very well, thank you, Doctor. All right. The three of you meet back up in the center of the lobby, having done your various things. What you gonna do next?
I would like to, and it's gonna go just awfully because my sleight of hand is trash. But I would like to. I presume the reception has some sort of like little bits of paper or cards or something that people can write wedding advice and well wishes and such not onto.
Yes.
So I would like to jot down the location of the speakeasy and slip it not into a pocket, but slip it somewhere that one of the policemen are going to notice, but not it. The hope is not notice that it came from me.
Okay, so you're gonna try to sleight of hand it into a police officer's pocket?
No, I don't think into a pocket because they wouldn't necessarily notice it in a pocket, but like leave it conspicuously, but not conspicuously by me.
Okay. Give me either stealth or sleight of hand check.
Ooh, my stealth is much better. Let's do that. Excellent.
Nice. Okay. You managed to leave it in a place that you're fairly certain an officer will locate it without... you're fairly certain no one sees you do so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you guys going to do next?
Is Algernon going to tell us about the stone destroying chemical?
Before I meet back up with the group, I'm an old man and I need to find a bathroom.
Okay. Easily done.
Okay. Now that I'm in the privacy of a stall somewhere, I'm going to fish the amulet out of my coat and give a good thorough look at that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the archaeology roll for that. That's success. So you get the information I've already provided you. I think I gave you the amulet, right?
Yeah.
It's an obsidian scarab set in a bronze mounting, which is concealed, which is connected to a beaded necklace. Etched into the scarab is an inverted ankh. Where the ankh is normally associated with life, the inverted ankh suggests association with death. The bronze mounting is also etched with pictograms, but close inspection confirms that they are not Egyptian hieroglyphics And you do not have a mythos, so you cannot determine what they are, but they're definitely not any known language to you at the moment. And then, of course, you feel that energy that is described in the thing I showed you. The energy. You can feel that innate energy in your like flowing from it through you and into you.
I don't see anything about energy anywhere.
The scarab is infused with alien energies. Anyone wearing the necklace is empowered with the same deep magic of the shriveling spell that is being the blah blah blah. Basically, it gives you the ability to cast that spell.
Oh,
And
okay.
you just naturally feel the energy coming off of it.
Sweet. Yeah, that's not listed on the scarab amulet in my inventory.
No, it should have been.
Huh.
It's not on the handout either.
It's not on the handout for sure.
Yeah. Well, we know what it does now.
Yes. Let me see your character sheet real quick. Dr. Elgeron. Scarab amulet. So when you clicked on the... Oh, I see. That's why, because it's under the keeper section, which you can't see.
Nope.
But yes, when you pull it out, you feel the energy, and you can feel the connection to the knowledge that you had in your head from having read the scroll. In that you could... The tablet scroll thing.
Mm-hmm.
The energy from the amulet connects to that in your mind, and you inherently now know that you are able to use that ability.
Okay.
So,
I actually don't have much knowledge on ancient Egypt. I studied the Romans. Does any of these things have anything to do with Isis? Like, does Isis connect with scarabs or whatever this Shabbat figure is? Or
not really. No.
Okay.
Isis is. It would really be more like Anubis would be the more likely god.
Yeah. Since there were things I couldn't see on the scarab amulet, is there anything I should know about the Shabbat figurine that I cannot see?
Let me look. There is no obvious things that are not listed.
Okay, cool.
There are other things, but they're not things that are obviously. So.
So I'll pocket both of my items again. I'm walking around with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of artifacts.
Right. Priceless. Two
priceless artifacts. Yeah.
Also the film.
And the film. Yeah. Okay. I'll go out and try to find everybody.
Okay. All right, you meet up with the two, the other two ladies in the lobby there. Whilst you are in the lobby, there is some commotion and then some screams coming from the wedding itself. No, I'm sorry. Coming from the first floor lobby area, which is obviously you just go down the stairs and get to the first floor. It's a man screaming in utter agony.
Well, Busy is going to go check that out.
As you head down the stairs, the dust storm thing is just heading back into the into the vents, and lying on the ground is an unfortunate police officer who has been husked. The people in the lobby that are down there now are all. Most of them are either. There are only a few people in the lobby because most people that went back to their hotel had gone back to their hotel rooms. But the few people that are down there have looks of utter panic on their face, just a shocked and not. The word I'm looking for is like washed out look, like they're severely frightened by the things they have seen. And the officer is now dead on the floor.
If only they'd believe me sooner.
A couple of the cops are yelling like, "What the?" and they're addressing the situation. But what are you guys gonna do? It has gone back into the vents.
I think we should. I'm going to point to the basement. We should head down there now. I think that's where it's going.
What makes you think it's going to the basement, though?
It's the central area. If it's going anywhere else, it has to go through there.
Why? It clearly just left this dock. It can leap through any of them.
Well, it's as good a place to start as any.
I suppose.
Okay. You guys head down to the basement. In the basement, you can see it's the staircase going down. To the left, there is the heating and cooling. Well, the heating system. There isn't really any central air here. It's not really a thing. That large area in the middle there, that is the large ballroom, the basement ballroom that is currently unoccupied. Basement ballroom. I will show you that in case you want to look at it. What is that? And there is the heating center, which is across the hall from that. So, which one do you want to go to? The ballroom or the heat thing? The heat, the furnace. That's what I'm looking for.
The ballroom. I mean, have we seen that the ballroom's empty?
The ballroom is. There are no guests in the ballroom. That is yes.
Okay. So it's no reason to go in there.
That's not the same thing as yes. I do want to. We've checked the ballroom and there's nobody in there.
By just opening the door, you do not see anyone. That's correct.
Okay. Then yeah, we'll go check out the furnace.
When you get into the furnace room, there is a clamoring and clanging sound that is not healthy for a large furnace system. It is a large coal-burning furnace, though. They do make a lot of noise, but...
This seems an exorbitant amount of noise.
It does seem like an exorbitant amount of noise, yes.
You'd think it wouldn't enjoy being in a furnace.
Look, I try not to judge sand monsters before I get to know. Who knows?
That is actually quite astute. We don't know what its motivations are.
You can hear it.
So far, its motivations seem to be stealing all the moisture out of people.
You can hear it, like whatever's in there moving around, and it's moved down through one of the intake vents. It's bounced around inside of the furnace a bit, and is beginning to move back out one of the exhausting vents.
Can we close these vents somehow?
Ooh, yeah, good idea.
Give me a mechanical repair roll.
Oh, balls.
Can you assist us?
What's that?
Sure.
Can one of us assist on this? I don't know how assisting works.
I don't know how assisting works either. I think I will simply say that assisting gives a bonus die because I don't know how it actually works.
All right, I'll assist.
So go ahead and roll that again, Ev, if you would like.
Roll the whole thing again, or just roll a d10?
Either way, I don't care. I mean, you rolled a
I
1.
roll a d10.
So exactly
Still no.
the same.
Exactly the same. Look
Exactly
at
the
that.
same. So no, there are probably ways to do it, but there are a lot of levers and dials and knobs and stuff on this furnace. It looks like you'd be flying a jet. So you definitely don't have the mechanical knowledge to do it without possibly blowing up the whole furnace.
That makes sense.
Well, we say we open up the grill, see if we can get it to come out.
You first.
After all, this is my idea. I don't see why I wouldn't. And she'll roll up her sleeves, step forward, grab like a crowbar or something, and then just pull open the furnace door, the one that you use to load coal into it.
Okay.
As she does this, Asia will open the mason jar, dump the jam, and hold it at the ready. It's totally gonna do anything.
Okay.
But it's all she can do right now.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do this then. Let's go ahead and have it out then. The form of the sand thing comes pouring out. You can see the outline of a face in the sand as it comes screaming out of the fiery depths of hell as you look into this furnace. And as it takes form in front of you, you once again see this form. Let me see here. You are quite a bit farther ahead of the schedule, so I want to make sure that this is something you guys can actually...
And this is why there's not going to be a session 2.
Right.
I'm sorry, it seems self-explanatory to me. Went into the vents, go to where the vents lead.
Yeah.
You know, skip 2/3 of the story.
Okay.
What-
Let me go ahead and put this gentleman in the combat tracker so I know what's going on.
What is the third you missed, do you think? What is the third we missed? Like the goons. We didn't find the goons, but...
No. Well, when we're done with the session, we'll get into what else there is.
All right.
So, with that, the Proto-Shoggoth, it goes last. Asia, you are the fastest person in the room, so go ahead and what are you going to do?
Fuck. Oh, no.
This Ibnhotep Proto-Shoggoth form thing that is in front of you is beginning to move towards you. Its jaw kind of does that. The mummy returns unhinged, silent scream thing, and you can see it beginning to mouth words that you do not understand.
I have no idea. Oh no, that wouldn't help me anyway.
Oh, I better make a sanity roll. My bad.
Again?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a much worse sanity check.
Nope.
Oh my god, okay. All right, so Busy,
Busy's
you're
fine.
good. Busy, you lose 1.
Okay.
Let's see. Doctor. Well, let's start with Asia Marie. You go first. You're going to lose 5.
Fantastic.
And Good Doctor is going to lose 8 sanity.
Awesome.
So the two of you
Now I have to make an intelligence check, right?
now have to make an intelligence check.
Oh, honey.
Ouch.
Why did I just Roll what happened?
I don't know why. We'll take the first one. It's fine.
I think you accidentally checked the box. There's a temporary insanity box. I think you accidentally.
Oh, I did. I did indeed. My bad.
Oh, you gained temporary insanity. I see. Okay.
I gave myself a temporary insanity. I think that's fair.
What do we need to roll?
Just double click on your intelligence.
Yeah, base intelligence roll. So you succeeded, which means you gain a temporary insanity, and even Asia Marie failed. So she. Oh, did you succeed?
If we go with my first one, I succeeded.
Yeah. Okay, so you both gained temporaries.
All right. So I click this box.
Yes, I think you click the box and then you can roll and it will give you the insanity you're going to get. Although you clicked it already, I think. This is something I haven't done in the system yet, so I'm not sure exactly how it works. Under temporary insanity, yeah.
Where is it?
Click the temporary insanity. I'll get it. Let's see. The doctor's already got it clicked. You've already got it clicked. And then, oops, that's not the one I wanted to open. Let's see here. Tables, that's what I want. I don't need that. I need tables. Luck tables. Huh. You're telling me there's no sanity table?
That seems stupid.
I know there is one. I just don't know where it's at. Oh, here we go. Sample phobias. I see. So you get a bout of madness. Roll for the doctor first, and you got do you have a significant person on your background, doctor?
I do.
Okay. At some point in the upcoming, and I'll let you decide when you want to do it, but you will mistake someone in a scene for a significant person. It might be one of the people in this room, in fact.
Mr. Sandman?
Well, it'd be probably either you or busy.
Right.
You will kind of just your mind is awash with the panic and fears, and you will take that into account, and that will last for 2 rounds. And then for the good Asia Marie, you have amnesia. The investigator has no memory of the events that have taken place since they were last in a place of safety. It seems to them that one moment they were eating breakfast, and the next moment you are facing this monster.
Well, that just completely fucks everything I was about to do.
And that lasts
Son of a whore.
And that lasts for 8 rounds. Sanity losses.
Whale.
So, Asia, you are now standing holding a jar pointed at a sand monster that you know nothing at all about.
All right. So she is going to look very confusedly at this jar and at the sand monster, and she's going to throw the jar at the sand monster.
Okay.
And run.
The jar is thrown at the sand monster and hits. As it hits the sand monster, he kind of like melds around it and hits the furnace behind it, and it breaks, and the jam begins to flow down What's that?
Is it sizzle?
Yeah, it flows down the outside of the heater and begins to emit the sizzling sound and that sweet smell of heated jam that quickly turns into the smell of burning jam. Busy, you're next.
Asia Marie, you silly goose, what are you doing? And then she's going to pull out her heater and take a shot at the thing.
All right. You roll the firearms. Pistole. 30. I do
Hard
believe,
success.
I do believe that hits.
Cool.
Where my stats go. Where my monster stats go. They're there. I don't think he dodges at all. No, he doesn't bother dodging. He doesn't know what guns are. So, go ahead and roll damage as you did hit it. 2 damage. It has armor and resistance, so you see the bullets kind of go. Well, at least the one bullet goes into the sandy form. It does not come back out of the sandy form, but does not appear to have slowed the thing down really at all.
Yeah.
Doctor, you're next. Okay. Can I make it to Busy? I don't know how separated.
Oh yeah. You guys are all standing roughly in the same spot.
Right.
So
I only have a movement of 3, so I don't move very fast.
Right.
Because I'm a 60-year-old man.
With a cane.
Well, you say that.
Right.
I am going to move forward, shouting out, "Sebastos, I told you not to be so reckless with these things!" And I unsheath my cane sword and I run up to Busy as quickly as possible and grip her upper arm and just start trying to drag her away. "Sebastos, we cannot handle this monster."
All right. So you grab her by the arm. I assume that you're going to resist Busy or no?
Yeah, I'm going to resist.
Okay.
What are you doing? What?
Our plans are foiled, Sebastos. We do not have a jar anymore. We must go.
We have the honey still.
A jar, Sebastos. A jar.
You have a jar of honey. Okay. So how forceful are you going to be, Doctor? Do we have to have a contested roll here?
We're going to have a contested roll. Yeah, I mean, I believe this is my significant person, Sebastos Vuvali, the greatest of my student interns, research assistants, and a personal mentee of mine.
Okay.
The only one who actually puts up with my occult nonsense.
So let's do a strength versus strength or strength versus dexterity. So, Doctor, since you're the one pulling, you'd be using strength. And Busy, you can either resist by trying to shirk out of it with strength or whatever. Let's see. Hard success and a regular success. A hard success is a better success than a regular success. As you pull Busy, he pulls you a little bit back towards the door, and then you manage to rip your arm free and turn back towards the creature just in time to see it lunging for you, because I would have gone for Asia Marie, but she's already pretty much trying to get out of the room.
There.
So you're first, and hopefully you're tasty. Oh, not a good roll. Failed. It lunges at you, but because of the doctor pulling you back, he misses with his first grasp. But the hand comes narrowly and painfully close to your body, and you can feel the grit of the sand brushing against you as it goes past. Asia Marie, your turn.
Asia Marie is going to continue to run.
GT effing O.
Yep.
Okay. Are you going to try to leave the hotel, or are you just going upstairs? Where are you trying to get to? The main ballroom, to hide somewhere? What do you want to do?
I haven't really decided yet. So she has historically, she believes the old tales, ish, but not really. And it was one thing to see this thing and then, not be really faced with it. Now she's actually been faced with something, and I think she's just kind of running blindly right now.
Okay.
So just away.
So I will decide where you go then, is what you're saying.
Okay. I'm all right with that.
Oh, it didn't actually do anything. That's weird. All right.
It put some mumbo jumbo on my side.
Oh, did it
Yeah.
just give you some squiggly lines?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's squiggly lines, but just
Random text.
random text.
Okay, good. That's what I want to do. That is the thing that it is saying to you.
No,
That is
it's a
your
big-
understanding of it. Busy. It is still coming at you. What you gonna do?
I'm going to pull out the jar of honey. I'm going to hold it out at it, and I'm going to say, Isis, I could really use some help here. Do your thing. Hello.
Operator, connect me to ISIS.
Yes. Operator, please save me from this thing.
Now that I've just said that online, the FBI is probably going to show up at my door in like 3 minutes.
Yes, wrong ISIS.
Wrong ISIS. The pretty lady, not the
Not the not pretty lady.
not the not pretty lady. Yeah.
All right. Give me.
She'll also use the other name that was on the thing. I forget what it was. Essay? Or,
Eres.
That's
Essay.
it.
yeah, essay. Do you want me to roll something?
Yeah. Trying to think, because it should be a mythos roll, but nobody in this adventure has mythos and shouldn't have mythos.
Should we not have picked up a mythos from the succeeding the first sanity check?
Oh yeah, you probably would pick up some mythos there.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to add that.
You should.
So basically, seeing the horrible things can cause you to gain mythos, assuming that you don't go insane.
Right.
So who succeeded the first time?
Me.
I did.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
So everybody gain 4 points of mythos, and then you can roll mythos.
I don't know where this is going. It's not on the sheet.
So if you see where your skills are, that second tab.
Yes.
So click on that, and then at the top under your name where it says point spent, you've got the little edit list icon.
I got it for you,
Yeah.
Brian.
Okay.
Okay.
Or you do that.
I've only got one person so far because that's the sheet I had open.
There we go.
So.
I got it.
Okay. All right. So under that, now you'll see on your sheet, Busy, under climb, it's got credit rating and then Cthulhu Mythos, right? Double click Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh boy, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Spend your luck.
I'll use
Right.
I'll use that luck.
All right. Spend 4 luck points.
All right, done. Spent.
All right. I have to do a quick bit of reading because that is not a thing that normally would happen.
What?
Approach
Holding
the
up a honey jar and praying to a dead god?
Yeah.
That seems like a very logical thing to happen.
Not listed
With a
here.
4% chance of success.
Right.
I have one Cthulhu. I have made Lovecraft my bitch.
Let's see. Okay. You requires you to say the prayer to Isis and spend 15 magic points along with your mythos roll. So,
Oh.
how many magic points you got there, Busy?
11.
All right. So, you spend 11 and he's continuing to move towards you.
Can multiple people spend magic points?
Yes.
Or does it have to be the same person?
I'm going to say you can spend them multiple people, but you have to have the focus. You have to have your hands on or have the focus.
Okay, makes
Well,
sense.
Since you threw the other focus at him and broke it.
Yep.
Doctor, you do get to go before he does, though. So, what you see is there. Busy is does the quick help us, Isis, and is holding out the jar, and then she begins to say words that you don't recognize, but they are definitively Egyptian words.
Okay. I assume I recognize the noun Isis. Esset.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
recognize that she is now also speaking like Aramaic Egyptian.
Right. Right. Okay. Uh, yes, I'm going to. Well, she's already shaken past. I'm gonna. Yes, Sebastos, excellent study. Good work, lad. And I'm gonna reach into my jacket, and I pull out the scarab pendant, and I'm gonna start circling around the sand monster, and I'll hold it out and just exclaim, "Yes, the blessed Esset, fuel this ancient relic and drive it back into a container which can hold it." And I'm going to try to channel that shriveling spell to see if I can. I don't know what shriveling does, but I'm going to try to shrivel it into the jar.
All right. Give me a. Is it going to be an opposed power roll?
All right. All right.
Look.
Can I push that?
Yep.
I'm going to push that.
Okay.
This sounds like an excellent opportunity for some really bad complications.
Yes. Some kind of tragic thing to soon happen.
Oh, I succeeded. Oh, well.
Oh, by quite a bit, actually. All right. I roll my power.
Only I will ever be disappointed that I didn't roll a complication.
Right. Roll. I rolled a 9.
Oh,
So that sucks.
Do I need to beat your number, or do I need to beat your degree of success?
You need to beat my. I think it's degree of success, actually.
So if I spend the 5 luck points to bring that down to extreme, would I succeed?
You would both have an extreme success then.
How does that work?
It would be essentially a tie, and it would goes to depending on there's a specific thing that will happen if it's a tie, but like the amulet has a specific. The amulet and spells have a specific power that will happen that will trigger if it's a tie.
Okay, I'll spend the 5 points.
Okay. So you both succeed. You both succeed by the same amount, which is a tie. If the caster wins, he posts. You begin feeling the energies pouring out of the amulet and surrounding your body. You can feel it pulling at your own energy. Everyone that is not you in the room, which basically just means busy, will now take 1d6 plus 10 points of damage.
oh, fuck.
Oh no.
That'll be 13 points of damage, busy.
Jesus Christ.
If I'm down to 0, am I dead?
Sorry, Sebastos.
You are dropped to 0 exactly, or you are dropped below 0?
I dropped to 0 exactly.
All right. You are now dying, but not dead.
Okay. Oh.
The good doctor regains 1d6 plus 2 hit points.
I am at max. It doesn't matter.
8. Your body begins to swell with energy. It does not exceed your hit points. I'm going to go ahead and roll this real quick because I can. Okay. Okay. You are also beginning to pull the energy from Ibnhotep. So the life energies that he has already taken from the police officer and from the good doctor earlier are being pulled from him as well. The energy is flowing and coursing into you. You can feel your strength and constitution both increasing, your vitality of youth coming back to you. This does You can see on the ground that Busy's flesh is beginning to turn blackened, and she's beginning to wither under the spell that you are casting. That will cost you 5 magic points.
5 magic out of my 10. Okay.
It also costs you 5 sanity points just outright.
Sure.
Which can cause a sanity check. Go ahead and roll the intellect.
Oh, and intellect check. I don't know why that rolled twice.
Because we're under temporary insanity.
Oh, cool.
So you gain another temporary insanity. Let me go
Nice.
ahead and bust out my table here. This time you will gain a one of these. Roll that bastard. Nope, not that one. Can't do the same one twice. That's stupid. You are now becoming, through your own insanity, you're beginning to lose. You are suffering from psychosomatic blindness, deafness, or the blindness and deafness. You're overpowered by the weight of the magic coursing through you, on top of the fact that you're just the things you are seeing now. Your mind is just blanking out all your visual and auditory input. That'll last for 6 rounds. That brings me to.
I'm just over there holding this amulet out, just chanting "Great cosmic power!"
Right. Yes. Okay.
How long does that last?
6 rounds.
6 rounds.
I think it's still Jack's turn. I'm dying. Peter ran.
Yeah.
Going so bad.
It is now Ibnhotep's turn. You cannot see what's happening. Busy is unconscious and Asia has left the room. But you're not dying being rended limb from the creature. So that's at least a plus. Beginning of the next round, Asia Marie, you hear the things happening in the other room, and you see, as you're hiding in the ballroom behind the stage, there's a drum kit, and you're hiding behind the drum kit on top of the stage of the ballroom. Basement ballroom. Let's bring that back up so you can see it. So there's not a drum kit, sorry. It's that big band setup like that. So you're hiding behind the second row of the big band setup that's there. When you looking around it, and you can hear the energies, and you can hear all the shouting from the other room, and in bursts this sanded creature thing, and it looks around the room a couple times, and give me a stealth check. That'll be opposed by its attempt to find you.
All right, dice, come on,
So
be with me.
I just want to check what happened as a result of this spell. Did it just not work then?
It did work. You need more energy to finish the spell. So if you can get to a point where you can finish the spell, it'll work. But
the 5 from the doctor didn't add to her 11 that she just dropped.
Different spell.
Oh no, because he wasn't right.
Yep.
Could I have
casting 2 different spells?
I couldn't have just thrown extra magic to make it work, though.
No. You'd have
been touching the focus.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I failed because I didn't have enough magic.
Right. Although it was a success other than that fact, yes. If Asia Marie hadn't gone running away.
That's the only fact that matters.
Yes. No one survives these games anyways.
This game is not meant to be won
so you
by
see
anybody but this guy.
You see it looking around, and it doesn't Like it comes up to the big band and kind of sniffs around the big band, the stage area, and kind of moves around. But it's moving in a way that it's obviously like more desiccated than it was when it had first come out of the fire.
Okay.
It is not doing as well as it could be. It's much weakened. It does not see you, and heads into the vent above the band's under that canopy, and you can hear it clamoring up through that.
Okay.
Busy.
The breath that she didn't realize she was holding.
Busy, you are still... Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. If you fail, you are dead.
Oh.
Ouch. All right. Busy has expired.
Now see, it did that thing again.
What'd it do?
It rolled 2 d10s in the tens place. That should be 71 or 17, not 80.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that.
No, we talked about this. It has to do that in order to get 100.
No, because when you roll 2d10, you roll...
Because of the way the system is actually working, it's actually rolling... Okay, it's just the math that it's displaying.
Yeah, it rolled the equivalent of a 0 on a d10. And that's a 10. So it adds 10.
No, it's just using
No,
the
the
dice
double
differently.
0 is the...
Yeah, it's doing it differently.
Yeah, the double 0 in this one is 0. Is an integer of 0 for the 10.
So this does 0 to 99 instead of 1 to 100.
It does do 1 to 100. It's the only way for it to do 1 to 100.
That doesn't make sense.
So
Okay. Go ahead.
it makes sense. The only way to get 100 is to roll 90 and a 10, right? That's the only way to get 100. So in order for that math to work, there needs to be a 10 on the die.
Yeah, if you roll a 0 in the 10 spot and a 10 in the 1 spot, that would be 10. But to get 100, you need 90 plus 10.
If the 0 on the second d10 was 0 rather than 10, a 9 plus a d10 would be 90.
In which case, you could only get to 99.
Right. It all works out to the same math. I mean, it's still one.
It doesn't, though.
Hang on one second. I'm going to try something before we...
Okay. It works out to the same math if it is rolling those 2d10 as a single d100 and not 2 separate d10.
Which I think is
that's how that works out.
What it's actually doing. Right. Yeah. It's just showing you one way and rolling.
That is
a
really
way.
fucking weird way to do that.
It's a
like,
weird
I get
way to
it,
display it,
but
yeah.
it is.
It's about the way it's displaying it, not the way it's...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just rolled to check it, so... All right, anyway, that's done. Busy, her last breath exhales from her body. Doc, your turn. You're gonna hold on to the spells and you're still blind.
Yeah, I'm blind and deaf, so I am just I'm blind and deaf, so I'm sort of waving myself around because I don't know what's going on, and I got distracted by our math talk. I was supposed to be looking up information on Estet, but I don't have any of her mythology, what she's called. I don't know anything about Isis, but I'm gonna just great Isis up above, guide my hand, Sebastos, quick, contain the beast, Sebastos.
Okay, give me another power roll.
Okay.
Because failing the power roll, whether you succeed in hurting the other guy or not, is bad. Okay. Do you want to spend the 15 points?
You know what? I do.
Okay. In that case, you would... This one. It was 5 and 6, so 11. Keep the number 11 in your head.
Okay.
Lose 5 more sanity points. You're now out of magic points. The spell begins to dissipate and expire.
Sure.
It does work for that round, obviously, but then it is beginning to fade away at the end of that round. We are now out of combat rounds because
We're all dead.
One of you is dead. One of you is going to be totally super duper insane. You've lost 17 points of insanity, 17 points of sanity for this turn, this game.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Did I lose any sanity just now?
You lose 5 for each time you cast, for each round you were casting the spell.
Okay.
And you lost, I think, 7 earlier, right?
If that's the case, I believe I've lost 19 sanity from 50 down to 31.
Okay. So that's going to be way over the minimum. So you are now indefinitely insane.
Awesome.
Which means the only way to fix you would be to, go to a psychiatrist, go to all that kind of stuff. You out your mind now.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I'm not even going to say what you're doing at the moment, other than just babbling to yourself in that room. When you regain your vision and whatnot, you run over to what was the name? Sebastian? That was
Sebastos.
Over to Sebastos, and you're cradling the lifeless husk of Sebastos. Rambling.
So that only lasted like 2 rounds, right? That first insanity?
It did, yeah. And then the blindness and stuff, but now with the indefinite insanity, I'm just...
Yeah, now I'm
fair
indefinitely
enough.
insane.
Yeah,
so that's kind of imprinted on
permanently etched.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm just kind of making up what happens for that. There's no point in rolling on it, because you can't solve it during this storyline anyway.
Right.
So, Asia Marie, how long are you going to hide from the creature before you... What was it? It was 5 rounds is what you had to go, right?
8.
8 rounds, okay.
Yep.
So after your 8 rounds, which would be like 5 more than left, you managed to regain your composure. Your dress is slightly wetter than it should be.
Right. Now that amnesia only lasted 8 rounds as well, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, when that clears, she her eyes go wide, and she remembers throwing the jar. Hops up, curses, and darts back into the furnace room.
Okay. Upon which time you find Busy's desiccated and lifeless husk of a body being cradled by the doctor, who is mumbling some thing to himself about how he's how he failed Sebastos and...
Yeah, so somehow I'm switching between like seven different languages and like just nonsense you can't understand. But every so often I'm just like weeping Sebastos.
On the ground there is the amulet. The jar of honey is on the ground, partially spilled out. What you gonna do? We're now a complete narrative time. There's no way to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do what you want to do.
Being the 20s, I think the most appropriate action is to grab the doctor by the shoulders, shake him a couple times, and slap him hard across the face.
Okay. You give him a good slap, and his eyes, start to focus for a second, and then, you just see the doctor's mind pack its bags and walk out the door. It's like, you know what? I'm going on vacation. I don't need to be here anymore.
No, I'm actually, when she slaps me, I'm gonna grab Asia by the cheeks, just Isis, please.
Okay, so we'll end the story there, and as the police come back and the inspector comes down and finds you, we're kind of in that the slow motion montaging. The good doctor here is being escorted out. He's with a couple guys in white long lab coats. the police cover Busy's face, and you can see Inspector Drummond looking down at her and just kind of shaking his head. Like, you can see on his face the distinctive, like, this is not what I wanted to happen. I'm actually going to miss this person. Like, as much as I hated her,
No.
It's got that look on his face. As they're covering her and lifting her onto the stretcher and out, and the doctor's escorted out. And Asia Marie, you're in the main lobby area, and the police have finished talking to you. They've gotten your statement, and the officer walks away. And people are beginning to file out of the hotel as the officers are like, all right, well, we've got what we want. People can start going. Give me one last roll. Give me a spot hidden roll.
No.
You want to spend the 45 luck points?
Sure. Why not? What the fuck else am I going to do with them?
All right.
Where's my luck? 45. So that takes me to 13.
Do I have a picture of him? I don't know if I do or not. Nope, that's not the one.
Oh, God.
Nope, I don't have a picture of him anymore. I thought I did. So as you're, the camera is beginning to pan away, you're looking out the rotating glass door, the Art Deco.
She's standing there. As she's looking out to further paint the scene, her shawl is wrapped tightly around her shoulders, and she's just kind of forlornly holding this honey jar.
Okay, I like that. The camera cuts to a man walking out of the rotating Art Deco brass glass doors, and he looks back, and it's a handsome man of Middle Eastern descent. Obviously, he's got a very regal stature to him, and he looks back and just kind of smiles at you, and then darts into the crowd. They're pulling out a few more bodies. The coming past you is Busy's body, as well as 2 or 3 other bodies on stretchers that from various rooms. Whoever was in here apparently killed several people, and you watch the bodies go, and you look back up, and as you see the man putting a hat on and ducking away and melding into the crowd, and that's it.
Nice.
So, right, that's pretty much how these games end.
Yeah, that's everything I expected from this.
It was
I
so
survived and remained sane. I'm counting that as a win. I won Cthulhu.
Right, that's a win. I got to give credit for Brian on this one, though, because that was a practically impossible thing to have done. And I swear, if it wasn't for the insanity check on that Ev made, I am 99% sure you guys would have actually defeated Ibnhotep, which is practically unheard of. So
we had this, guys.
Bravo.
Until we didn't.
So what you missed doing was you could have developed the film in the dark room on site, and you could have gone and searched the doctor's room, where you would have found some additional stuff on how to actually use the jar and all that stuff. It would have made the rolls easier if you'd gone and done that. You still got the same conclusion, but you would have had a little bit easier time doing it if you'd gone to the doctor's room, Dr. Bronson's room, and gone through her stuff and investigated through her stuff. So,
Sure.
Other than that, yeah, it was pretty good. You guys did pretty much everything you needed to do. So, what moment stands out most to you this evening?
I loved all our accents. We had a lot of good accent work this time.
It was all over the place.
It was fun.
It's all over the place. Mine was all over the place, but
Mine wasn't what I wanted, but I don't think I have the vocal range. I wanted that higher pitched 20s actress with a Southern twang, and I'm not physically capable of doing that.
I think it's because those are 2 different accents. I don't know how you could do that.
Oh, no, they're very 2 different accents.
You're talking about the Mid-Atlantic accent, which is very different from a Southern accent.
yeah. It's a hard accent too. Like it really is not an
Mhm.
easy accent to manage.
Yeah, that weird, soft, everything's tight,
Yeah.
high pitched. Yeah.
I was gonna try to do
Can't do
a
it.
Bostonian type accent, but then I realized that wasn't really the correct accent, and I didn't end up going with it. So
In the beginning, I was trying to combine my typical old man accent and a British accent, which really just ended up sounding like Sean Connery. So I'm like, I need to steer away from that.
I should have done one of the characters as James Mason and one of them as Chris Walken. I could have pulled those off.
There you go.
But I usually reserve my James Mason for any time I'm playing a deity, because James Mason is God. So that's what was. Who?
I think my moment that stands out to me was suddenly forget it. Like we had the perfect plan. It was beautiful.
Oh, you had a plan.
And then suddenly it was a beautiful plan. Shut your face. Nobody asked you. It's a wonderful plan. We had it nailed down, and then we went insane.
Yeah.
I liked all of Brian's back and forth with all the guests.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, very much so.
You managed to get into that 1920s vernacular and speech and all that. Not my area.
I was definitely doing a 1940s Spitfire accent. Definitely not 1920s, but it worked.
It was you were doing you were doing a very noir, like tabloid type investigative journalist, and I liked it. I think it worked out really well, and it fit nicely. You were well ahead of your time. And if you had survived, you'd been a trendsetter.
Alas.
I was going to say who best portrayed their character, but I've got to give it to Brian on this one because that whole thing, every interaction you had with every character was pretty much exactly what I expected your character to be. So I got to give you that. Anybody else got a comment they want to make on who best portrayed their character?
No, I think I'm in agreement with that.
I got to figure out where I never opened my notes list today. So I don't have my questions in front of me. And you'd think after asking them for years, I'd know what they all are off the top of my head, but I don't. Good idea, bad idea.
Confronting the sand monster.
Showing up.
Showing up.
Going to this extravaganza. None of those apply.
I really want to know why we didn't take the sand busting chemical.
Right. So the things that you guys didn't know that you could have known, the doctor was safe because he had the Shabari on him. That makes you invisible to Ibnhotep.
Yep.
The rock would have done the same thing. Not the same thing exactly, but he couldn't get to you if you were carrying the rock on you, the stone. There's the acid chemical, which can actually do damage to him without his resistances.
Yep.
You had the amulet, which can do damage to him, but he managed to get out of the room. The spell, which you managed to figure out, but didn't have enough spell points for. And there would have been an easy way to do the spell had you gotten the stuff out of the room. Other than that, you guys pretty much did spot on. So,
yeah, and it's a real shame the way it played out because I've got 14 magic points. Like between the two of us, we could have had that.
Yeah. Well,
we would have been fine.
The whole party, you had 11, like 10, I think, and 13 or something like that. So you guys had
13.
enough all around to be able to do it, but. I felt the session actually had a moment where it felt like the Lovecraft Country, where you go through it and there's some resistance to it, and then you start figuring out, okay, no, this is more real than I want to admit, and then you have this moment where there's actually magic happening in the room, like there's things that you cannot explain happening in the room, and I really liked the way that broke down. So
yeah, I really enjoyed the way this played out.
Yeah. If you could change one thing about the session other than Brian not dying, what would it be?
Well, you already took the main thing out of it.
That one's too easy.
Better dice rolls when we needed them.
Oh my God. I can't believe, Brian, your rolls were so bad tonight.
they were the problem. I find the D100 system is incredibly jumpy.
Yes.
Like it, boy, it's so random.
Yeah,
like you can't.
It's extremely swingy, which I think is one of the reasons why they added the luck system to it.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. Like I like it for this system because 99% of games I don't like that system, but for the Call of Cthulhu system, I like it because it helps play into that moment of your mind is flashing quickly. You might not be able to handle it. You're normal people in extraordinary circumstances. It's not like other games where you're a hero going into the situation. Like this is
Right.
You're a random guy off the street, and that is a Shogoth. It's just bad all around. So, but I agree. It's a very swingy system.
Yeah.
So if we change one thing about the system, what else? Setting, what else? Session, what else would it be? You know what I mean. Ev, what do you got?
I think just the really bad dice rolls that really, or not necessarily not just the really bad dice rolls, but flipping them, getting really amazing dice rolls when we didn't need them, and then getting really shitty dice rolls when they were so crucial.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of last night too.
Yeah, well, last night it was mostly just bad rolls. It was a couple of good rolls.
It was mostly
almost
bad
all
rolls.
bad rolls.
Hey, at least I didn't roll 100 today.
Right. Jack, what do you got for anything you've
Really
changed about the
fucking
session?
close.
I just personally would have tried to get into my character a little bit more before the game. Did some more research on the setting and the genre and 1920s and really get into character. I've just been so busy with my new show kicking off and working on video editing and all that. 5:30 rolled around and I got all kinds of programs open. I'm writing things. I'm editing a video and I'm like, oh wait, I need to be in Call of Cthulhu in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I get that. I have unfortunately spent a lot of the last week and a half to 2 weeks with a lot of time on TikTok. I have fallen into a TikTok rabbit hole. It is really
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I'm addicted, super addicted.
But follow us on TikTok.
Yep. I think half the people that are here because of TikTok. So that's.
I think so.
I am glad to see everybody show up today. It was good. Thank everyone
it was very exciting
for coming and watching. I thought it was a good episode. This turned out to be much better, a much better palate cleanser than I had wanted it to be. Like it turned out to be very good. I think it's so very different from Star Trek. That, I think it was fun. We will be off from gaming next week, but we will meet next week to talk about things we're supposed to talk about this week.
Okay.
And we'll open up next week. We'll open up the form to start about getting new people in, to getting a new person in for the Star Trek Adventures game, and I'll throw that out next week. So,
can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Can we throw that out this week so that way we can talk about people we may want to bring in next week?
If I have time, I will see what I can get it out. But I work every day this week for the rest of the weekend, so it's going to be tough for me to get anything done. I will try to get it out Thursday night if I can.
Okay.
I'm going to bed in like 4 minutes, so
that's fair. No, that's fair.
Same.
I just figured I'd ask because I honestly, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about next week if we don't have.
I have stuff.
People.
Oh, we've got plenty of stuff. We've got stuff that we tossed around kind of in the chat immediately after last session that needs to be kind of hammered out.
Yep. Yeah, I got stuff that we can go through. Like I want to talk about some story stuff for the Star Trek game and things like that.
I can't wait to get back to Star Trek. I've been thinking about Star Trek nonstop since our finale.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got quite a bit more to write, but I have actually started putting, quote unquote pen to paper, finger to key. Mm-hmm. So that's good. But all right, you guys got anything else? Anybody in chat want to say anything? I think we're probably done there, eh?
Probably.
And there's still quite a few people in chat.
There are. I'm so happy. It's great. I love it.
I think this is probably the biggest following we've had
in a single session. Yeah.
In a single session. Yeah.
We'll see what it is afterwards, what the final numbers come out to be, because we end up getting a lot of people jump in and out of the Star Trek game. So.
Yeah. True.
All right. On that note, I don't have anything else. Jack, Ev, Brian, you guys are all good.
Great game as always.
All
thanks
right.
for running it.
Yep.
Sweet.
All right.
Night, everybody.
I will talk to you all later. So long, and thanks for all the fish.